Welcome to the David Bradley Show. Welcome to the David Bradley Show with your host, David Bradley.
Hey, everybody, how's it going? So, I wish I'd have checked that freaking camera angle. Sammy, I've got nothing but your ear in that camera.
Well,
so we'll just do this. Hey, everybody, welcome to a crazy show because these two guys, no, you're fine. You're fine.
am I good?
You're good.
All right. I didn't think it was good because he didn't watch behind his ears.
I know. Well,
don't be telling him all that.
You could see all the holes in the back of his earlobes where he had all them earrings from when he was younger,
I'm Sammy Roll instead of Jelly Roll.
And there you go. There you go. Next stop, tattoo studio.
Yeah. it might get us somewhere.
You never know. You never know. Oh, Lord. So anyway, these guys kind of popped up on me, and I remember we was down there at the Troubadour, and y'all were playing and everything. And I remember Leon saying, "Oh, you're going to see me soon." And I was just like, okay. And next thing you know, y'all back up here on my show.
There you go.
We are.
I love it.
We love you, brother.
I love it. Man, I always have so much fun when I hang out with you guys.
Do you really?
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm so glad you do.
And just, it's like I told you outside. It amazes the heck out of me how you run around like a 28-year-old kid,
I'm telling
man.
you.
It's
You're right, man.
He is insane.
It's infectious.
Yeah.
Well,
It is.
He tears up stage.
I'm telling you.
well,
I'm telling you.
I've slowed down now that I'm 39 years old a little bit,
Well, when you reach that pinnacle.
Yeah, 39, I've slowed down and but I still try.
All right. So if anybody's wondering why I'm wearing headphones and these guys ain't, is because I'm still running the board because the girl that's going to start producing everything for me, Caitlin, went on vacation and you didn't ask. But anyway, I digress. Oh, Lord. So what's been going on, man?
Well, I tell you, well, Sammy, he called me here a while back, and said, "Hey, man, what?" He's going to tell his story there. I'm just kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but he said, "Man, I'd really like for you to join up with me and let's do a 2024 tour,
Mm-hmm.
and doing things of 80s and 90s music, which I'm the old 80s guy,
Well, what I call the good country.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, well, even the 90s, where he come along and him doing the 90s and do a little bit of the history of the music business.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he's going to tell a story, all about the murder on Music Row. He's a sole survivor of that. He lived to tell it, but he was left for dead. But by the grace of God, he's here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to tell things, just how it was in the music business, and all people sees is the glory end of it. On stage.
Mhm.
And that's
They don't
something.
realize the knives that are in your back and everything else is going on politically
Mm-hmm.
behind the scenes. Politically is what kills your careers.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't go along with the program.
The cookie cutter.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody said, "Well, you're gonna get in a little bit of trouble. Start talking about that." Well, so what? I'm gonna tell it like it is. Because
What we got to lose at this point?
yeah, what do you got to lose? Just tell it like it is. And I think people really would like to know
Yeah.
what's going on.
Well, that's, that's something me and you covered when you was first up here.
Yeah.
And I've actually kind of been talking about that a lot
Mm-hmm.
with some of the guests that I have. And a lot of them are, 5-6 year people that have been here. A couple of people have been here, like, I don't know, maybe a year or two,
Yeah.
but they're getting it. They're understanding it
They're starting.
and they're listening. And I love it
Exactly.
because, if you could take the Papa Bear down, it'd be a whole lot better for everybody.
Yep. And Sammy and I, we just feel that, that we're just going to enlighten the people really what it's like.
Yeah.
And
That'd be
all
awesome.
glory what people sees.
Yeah, they don't know what goes on behind the scenes,
Yeah.
They just hear you on the radio and think, "Hey, man, they got there just because they sang good." That's not how it works.
Mm-mm. Well, I had Mark McKay on,
Mm-hmm.
and as he was walking up the driveway, he got the phone call. He had 24 hours to get him and his band way the heck out in West United States and he barely made it.
Yeah.
So we had to cut our show short. But off the air, me and him was talking, and he's like, dude, it's just everything costs so freaking much now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
The touring,
That's right.
all of it, you know, buses,
Fuel.
the riggers, all of it.
And you don't make the money off of record sales and things like you used to. You
There
don't
ain't-
make any money.
Where in the heck can you buy a record
Yeah,
nowadays?
that's one. And
Cracker Barrel?
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't make nothing on all these downloads and all that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, you know, you have to make it. You have to make it on ticket sales and merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way you can make it.
Yeah. Well, Dustin Spears was on here, and we were talking. It was the first time he was on the show, and we were talking about that merch sales, and he was on a tour, and he's driving himself in a pickup truck and a guitar.
Yeah.
And he was sitting there praying that he had made enough off merch just to get him a McDonald's and get to the next gig.
Yeah.
Get the gas. Exactly.
You know,
Absolutely.
and people don't realize that how
Really
bad
don't.
it is.
Mm-mm.
It's messed up.
It is. It's really messed up.
I don't like how I'll probably get shot for this, but anyway, I don't like how the record people have turned into basically loan sharks.
Well, they keep these new artists and all. They keep them so. Okay,
Keep you
get a record
indebted.
out. You get a record out, and here goes this artist going down the road in a $750,000 Prevost tour bus. You know?
Mm-hmm.
They don't own that bus.
No, I don't think
They're in
anybody.
they're so hawk up to their neck, you know, through the record company.
Yeah.
The record company will own you,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
people don't realize that.
Well, I heard Jelly Roll on another podcast, you know, and I don't know if he done the deal or Bunny done the deal or they done it both together, but and he didn't really go into a whole lot of detail about the deal, but he's calling it the Jelly Roll deal. Cause he said, now with my deal, I'm keeping my money. I'm keeping my music and they gonna pay.
Well,
Everybody needs the Jelly
Yeah.
Roll deal.
Yeah.
you know, I wish it worked like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'd
You
be
know?
nice. I think it'd be easier if you just made your own daggone record label.
Well, you know,
Yes, and you can do better,
Yeah.
probably.
you might be able to do that if you have enough hits to where you can get control, but you know,
Well, I mean,
kind
well,
of
let's
hard,
face it.
don't you think, Leon?
Well, yeah. I mean, let's face it. At our age, whatever, and all this kind of stuff. Let's face it. You're not going to have a radio hit anymore.
No.
I mean, you know, you can't even pay them to play a George Jones song. My goodness, live. You know.
No, I know.
And so, what do you got to worry about? You're not going to have a radio hit, but yet you can get on there, thank goodness, to social media now. And like you say, you don't even need a major record deal. Just get out there and work the social media. And
Mhm.
thank God for people like the David Bradley Show here,
Yeah.
people like y'all and all these other podcasters and people that's doing stuff like this, that's letting artists like us come on here and talk about it
Yeah.
freely. Because, you know, you go to a big billboard station, you know, whatever.
Mhm.
You really have to watch your tongue on what you say because, you know,
Yeah.
you can't really talk about it. People like you let us just, hey, open up and tell it like it is.
I mean, well, I've told somebody else before, they were like, well, do you do Q&A? And no, I do Q&A like in a normal conversation, you know,
Yeah.
but I don't just sit there and go, and I always love these questions. What got you started in music? Who were your influences?
Yeah.
When did you actually start touring?
Yeah.
You know,
You go, David. You go.
but that's what I've told a lot of people, when you can take and you can have a show that is raw, no script.
Yeah.
I got some bullet points. Half the time I don't even look at them, and you just have a conversation, man.
Yeah.
You learn more about somebody in the old backwoods, 1975 to 1990, having an actual conversation with a human and not sitting there playing on your phone.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I hate that daggone phone, but it rings off the freaking wall.
Yeah. And I mean, like we said, that stupid phone there, really, that media is what that puts your name out there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And that's what, well, I mean, you seen some of the stuff Leon's been doing?
Oh yeah.
Doing the morning prayer.
Yeah.
He's got me watching it.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for a year and a half, you know.
I know.
Hey, that's where I grew up in school. Well, you did too. We all
Well, yeah.
we had to say the morning prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance every morning.
That's right.
I never was hearing anybody do anything like that anymore. So a year ago, I started doing it. I do it every morning.
No, I think every morning now the teachers just look at the students and go, hey, can you turn your cell phone down, please?
Yeah.
And then they just sit there and learn off their cell phone.
That's about it.
It's crazy. I never would have thought. You remember the Redford Files?
Yeah.
How he had the phone in his car.
Yeah.
I was like, I always wanted one of those, you know?
Yeah. The old bag phone.
Yeah, the old bag
old
phone.
bag phone,
And some of them were mounted in the
Yeah.
car, you know, had this
Mhm.
big old battery and antenna thing and everything in the back of it. And I'm just like, it amazes me where we've come from in the technology.
Right.
But if people can actually start using it correctly, I honestly don't see where you need a record label anymore.
You don't
You
really need
don't.
one.
Hey,
You don't.
people, Justin Bieber and people like that, they prove that.
Well,
They
Justin
were
was the first one.
superstars before they ever even
Yeah,
would
they come off
consider
of
a record
TikTok
deal.
or,
Yeah.
Facebook or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they came from.
Yeah.
You don't need it. You don't need a record label anymore in today's time.
You don't.
No, I mean, if you work at everything right, I mean, you can make a ton of money.
Sure you can. And just not even a record deal or anything, just working social media, you can sell out small, venues,
Mm-hmm.
7,000, 8,000, whatever. I mean,
Well, I mean, that's what I tell at the end of
thousands.
every show. I get on my little soapbox, and I just tell, if you like what an artist is doing,
Right.
like them, share,
Right.
follow,
Support
yeah,
'em.
that's right.
and
That's what you do.
subscribe. That's my big
Yeah.
thing right now, because
Absolutely.
I look at a lot of people's pages and stuff, on YouTube, and I'm like, they only got 3,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be kidding me, and I don't know what it is. It's the hardest thing for people to do is move the mouse or move their thumb over and hit subscribe,
Right.
Yeah.
because that's how you get artists to your state, to your city, to your town, because these booking agents, they're all looking at their numbers.
That's all they
That's
look
all
at
do.
today.
They look at
They
numbers.
just see how many dates you're working and what your social media is.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they look at.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember when we used to do, you remember that? We used to do the 4-track,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
you cut 4 songs and that's what you sent out to everybody.
That's
and
what you did.
maybe your little picture. Remember the old black and white pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 by 10.
Yeah.
Sure do.
I love them.
Sure
but you-
That's your little press kit.
Yep. Little
Yeah,
press kit.
That's it.
That was it. Now you got an EPK.
Yeah. Now it's
Yeah.
all digital.
Yeah.
See, for us old guys like me, I mean, I had my first Billboard chart record in 1977,
Mm-hmm.
and that was my first chart record. Well, if you'd have told me about a cell phone back then, I wouldn't even had a clue what you're talking about. Of course, nobody else would either.
Yeah. Nobody
That was
would have.
77.
Yeah.
And like you say, you used to get out there. Boy, you took that little old 45 DJ copy,
Mhm.
run the radio stations,
Yeah.
and they would let you in then.
Yeah.
They would
And
let you
play
out to
it.
come in and give you a record and give you a chance. You can't get in no big. I'm talking about big radio station.
Yeah.
You can't get in no Billboard station now because it's all programmed.
Yeah. Every
Yeah.
bit of it.
Everything
right.
is programmed, and that DJ sitting there live, and all that. You thinking he's live? All they're doing is the commercials and the the cut-ins and things like that there. But everything else, the music being played is programmed in New York or whatever.
Oh, yeah. It's all syndicated.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just satellite it out.
You can't
Yeah.
call up and say, "Hey, play so and so." They don't do that.
No.
Hmm.
I mean, that's that's something I was looking into, because I don't know. It's when I was driving over the road going to California and back, I listened to XM radio,
Mhm.
stuff like that. But it got to where every night, because I drove nights, every night at a certain time, I could tell you what was fixing to come on the radio.
Yeah, exactly.
You got like that on satellite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Now the same kind of deal.
It's crazy.
Same kind of deal. You only hear what they want you to hear.
Well, see, that's where podcasts and a lot of podcast radio stations are actually taking ground and taking off.
Right. They are.
Because you can just scroll through it, find what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And then you're locked in, man.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
Right.
You know, because I bought that 2019 truck. I don't even have a CD player in the deck.
Oh, no, they don't have them in there today.
Exactly.
And I'm like,
and a lot of them don't even have the thumb drive things you can put in there now. It's all download stuff.
well, mine is got that little cord that plugs in the back of my phone like you're charging it, but it connects it straight to the radio.
There, yeah.
So I can listen to YouTube. Which I ain't gonna lie, I do listen to, like when I have guests coming on, I'll listen to their stuff. That way I am a little bit familiar with what's going on. Because sometimes
I bet you ain't never listened to my stuff.
I have to.
Did you?
Yes, sir.
Really? For sure?
Positively. And I'm gonna tell you another step I did. Your song Hurricane, that big winning song for you, I have went as far as trying to find the other people that have recorded it and listen to the difference. Yeah, you did it better.
It's been recorded about 10 years ago. A band called Band of Heathens. They did it in rock.
Yeah.
In the rock field. And now, I don't know if you know, they're talking about Jelly Roll a while ago. You know what? Jelly Roll? Hurricane.
He wants to do Hurricane.
No, he's doing it.
Oh, cool.
He did it on live, a couple weeks ago, whatever. And somebody texted me and said, their daughter went to the Jelly Roll concert. Said, you ain't gonna believe what he was singing. And he says, you know, I do my hits. Everybody wants me to do my hits. And he said, but how about me doing some other hits? And said, these are two songs that I love. And one of them was Hurricane, and one of them was House of the Rising Sun.
Oh, man, that is awesome.
Both of them on his concert.
I love that.
So I said, that's a big honor. Hurricane was my first #1 record in 1980.
Yeah, I know it was.
But it's been covered by a lot of people.
Man.
And about any house band that you listen to, they're doing Hurricane.
Yeah, I know. And it's just, it's one of those forever songs, man.
It was one of those magic songs that it just took off for me. Of course, I named everything. Both of my buses was called Hurricane 1, Hurricane 2. My band was named Hurricane.
Which actually won Traveling Band of the Year in 1983.
The Hurricane Band, they sure did. I'm proud of that fact. You know,
I cheated.
I took 7 guys that had never seen each other before.
Yep. And
they were all young. None of them had ever been on the road. I didn't come to Nashville and put me a Nashville band together. I took 7 guys, just little local bands and all, that never thought about professional or anything like that. I took 7 guys, put them all together from all around the country.
Yeah.
That was in 1980. And the band always picked at me and all said, yeah, we went to Leon Everett's boot camp of music. Boy, what a hard guy he was. I pushed them hard, man.
I can imagine.
And in 2 years' time, they walked up there and picked up the Traveling Band of the Year award.
I know. That's awesome.
Boy, you talk about a proud peacock.
Usually like a proud papa.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I put these guys together and look at them. They up there and got that award.
There you go. Did you get it? Did you get one of them?
No.
Because they usually give each member like.
They did, but I wasn't a member. So. I was just a drill sergeant. They all had their Band of the Year award and all, you know. And Johnny Lee beat me out for the Song of the Year.
Man.
And because he come out with they had the Urban Cowboy thing.
Yeah.
Looking for Love. How you gonna compete with a soundtrack?
No,
so
and
he
that
beat me out. So
and that was a good slow dance song too.
Oh yeah,
I remember seeing it, and there used to be a place in Nashville called Denim and Diamonds. You might
I remember it. Yeah,
I used
Is
to
that
go
down
out
on Murfreesboro or somewhere, Murfreesboro Road, or
there. No, it was on in Madison
in Madison?
on Gallatin Road.
Yeah,
over
that's
there.
right. That's right.
And my dad and mom used to go out there all the time. And when I got divorced from the first one, God, that sounds terrible every time I say that.
We've all been there now.
But anyway, he told me one night, he said, you got to come out here. And I'm like, I ain't got no money. He's like, don't worry about it. I got you covered. Come on out. And I'm like, well, that was back when I was drinking a lot too.
Yeah.
And I said, well, did you bring enough money? And he said, you don't worry about it. You just come out here. You need to relax, have a good time, all this other good stuff. I go out there, and my dad at the time was like early 50s. And I go out there, and he's dancing up there. And that was the one song that he was dancing to, was Looking for Love. And I was like, but he's not dancing with mama. What's up with this?
Yeah.
Come to find out, he was never a big country music fan now. But where he worked at, they offered a country music line dancing and
Wow.
country dancing. And that old cooter turned around and learned how to do that country dancing, come home, taught mama, and he was so daggum good. Women would walk up to him and mom and ask her if they could dance with him.
Well, I be dang.
And dude, he could cut a rug, man.
Man.
I'm telling you, it was something else to watch him out there. And then he got mad at me at the end of the night.
Oh boy.
I drank 10 Blue Hawaiians,
Oh my
Oh, no.
goodness.
2 shots of tequila.
How'd you walk out?
I think
Not
I had
good.
I don't think so.
no, there was another,
For sure not good.
there was another drink called, it was purple. I can't remember it. Can't remember what it was called, but it was purple. And I had 3 of those, and it was sweet. It was
Yeah.
real sweet. And mom drove me home. So, and he was just like, holy crap. Cause that was a lot of money right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I bet.
He said, I ain't ever telling you that again. I was like, all right, well, that's the way it goes.
What else? What tea is that? What do they call it? The tea, the drink. He gets people plastered.
Long Island iced tea.
Yeah, Long
Long
Island iced
Island.
tea. Yeah.
Oh, dude, they got
Yeah.
drinks out there now that just
Mm-hmm.
no.
Well,
Would you have some of them?
no.
Oh, okay.
No, he don't drink.
No, not
I've been
now.
clean.
I mean,
I've
I
been
know
clean.
that.
I've been clean and sober for 27
I
years.
know,
now.
man. That's
But,
awesome.
boy, I used to.
I might have a drink every now and then. Like the other day on the show, she wanted some bourbon, but it was her first podcast.
Oh,
And she was nervous. So we sat here and we sipped bourbon and had a conversation. Turning over 2 hours.
Just kept sipping.
She just took a sip every now and then, and she was fine.
yeah.
Then I made her still stay here for about 30, 45 minutes later just to make sure that
Make
she
sure
could
she's
drive
all
home.
right.
Yeah.
Tried to feed her, but she didn't want to. See, me and my assistant Julie learned our lesson with Leon with where's the food? Where's the food?
Hey,
Where's the food?
You invite me up here on this podcast and you ain't got nothing to eat.
Well, you told me. Come on out. We sit around the kitchen table. We sit around the kitchen table and we just talk and stuff like that. Well, I'm thinking the kitchen table, we're going to be eating something.
No, I know.
I think when I was here, I complained the whole time, didn't I? Where's the
Intermittently.
food? Where's the food?
Intermittently.
Where is
Well,
the
see, that's Julie got you hooked up this time because there's barbecue over there.
Ooh.
There's desserts in the
Oh, my.
fridge. I mean,
yeah.
she said she loves you to death.
Oh,
And she told me, she said, Leon's coming. I got to get food.
I do like to eat.
Yeah.
I do like to eat.
I laughed my butt off. I said, yeah, you better
I like to eat.
put in some Skittles out there or something. I don't know.
Goodness. We like that food, don't we?
I love that.
Yeah,
Some
man.
peanuts.
Great day.
Yes.
Man.
we've been up here
Over a week.
over a week, and we're always putting on Facebook what we're doing all this year.
Yeah.
Half the comments is that all y'all doing up there is eat? All y'all do is eat.
Yeah.
I do like to eat.
Okay. Now, one thing with Facebook Live and the YouTube Live that I'm doing right now is people can actually write in comments.
Oh
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So
We in trouble.
no, I've got two right now, so I'm just going to address them real quick. Joe Rucker said, David, make them boys behave.
Oh man.
Joe, you kidding, right? That was a joke. It ain't gonna happen.
I thought we was.
No, we're trying.
I thought we was doing
We're doing
good.
all
We
right.
talked about this before we got here. Let's be
Yeah.
on our best behavior tonight.
Yeah, okay. And then Tanya Gant, which is actually a school friend of mine from way back in the day, told me what the purple drink was. It was called a purple Hooter shooter.
Oh my
Hooter
goodness.
shooter.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that one.
they were stout.
Wow.
They were good going down. 20 minutes later, they were kicking you right in the butt.
I bet. I bet.
So I did 4 of them.
Hey, you talking about Joe Rucker?
I don't know if I want to talk about Joe Rucker.
You know
No,
why?
because he gets to record one of your songs.
No, we done recorded it.
Oh, he did?
We did. What's today? We did it
Friday.
Wednesday.
Friday.
Friday. Well, yeah, we did it Wednesday.
Oh, I thought what I seen on Facebook was y'all just cutting up in the studio. I didn't know y'all actually
No,
recorded it.
Well, we was recording, but most of it was cutting up.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I mean,
I had no clue.
well, yeah. But you talk about an honor now. That's an honor. Talking about how long
Mhm.
I've been around.
Joe's been around for
Joe's
long.
been around a long time, man. He's played with everybody, and they're doing that big record. What, Heart of Texas?
Heart of Texas.
Heart of Texas, yeah.
Records, yeah. And Tony Booth singing all you,
Mhm.
all doing it. Anyway, Joe was born in Texas, so it's
Mhm.
so he was asked to do a song on there, and so anyway, he asked me. He says, "Man, what about In the Shadows of My Mind?" I had that
Mhm.
back
And
in
that's a good one.
1981. That was
That's a
big
good
hit.
one.
He said about recording. I said, "Yeah, man." I pushed him on. I said, "I think you ought to record that one, Joe. That's a good one.
Oh
And
yeah,
a good old Texas song too."
Yeah. it's got a good Texas
Yeah.
beat to it too.
So then he says, "Yeah, would you do it with me?" Man, ain't that an honor?
That is awesome.
That is an honor.
Say, I thought he was just going to cut it by himself.
Well, he went in and cut down in Texas.
Mhm.
He cut the tracks, but he knew I was going to be up here. And, out at the Troubadour
Yeah.
the other night, Ernest Tubb Midnight Jamboree,
Mhm.
I got Joe up there with me.
Yeah.
I'd never done it before or anything. And we tried, we did it up there at the Troubadour.
Yeah, I was there for that one.
And then, but I went in Wednesday evening, and I cut my part into it. I did the second verse, and then we did the chorus at the end together.
Oh man, that's going to
So-
sound
and
good.
it came out great, man. You got to get Joe up here
Yeah.
and get him to play it for you.
Yeah, he
I
told
don't
me. He
think they're
said,
finished. They got to go back and do some more of it. Overdubbing.
Overdub.
Overdubbing.
Overdubbing. And
but
it's gonna be a killer record.
that's going to be awesome.
And I just want to thank Joe, man. That's an honor.
Yeah.
That is an honor for somebody to do that, ask you to do that.
Oh yeah. Well, when I walked up to him and told him that I was leaving, he was like, "Man, I'm cutting this song, right?" I'm like, "That's what I heard, Joe." And he's like, "I got to come back on the show and talk about that." And I'm like, "Bring it, brother. Bring it. Just bring it. I don't care."
Joe is such a great guy.
He is. He is a
such
good guy.
He is and his wife Ashley. I mean,
How she
just-
puts up with him, I don't know.
I wonder that myself. But no, he's such a humble guy too.
He is.
He's a super nice guy.
He's about as down to earth as a guy can
Yes,
get. He really is.
he really is. I love him to death. Love him to death. And so I'm just honored. I'm just honored.
Do you know when the
People
album's?
does my songs and like that.
Yeah. Do you know when the album's coming out?
I don't know.
Well, we got to find out. Joe, hang on. Let me ask Joe. Joe, when's the album coming out? Send me a message, Joe.
He probably turned us off, man.
Yeah, they might have.
Oh goodness.
Oh.
All right, Thomas Marino. Hey guys, how's it going? Going pretty good, Thomas. We're having fun. Did I do that? It's the right camera. I can't remember what camera I'm on. This is why I had to get her to do this because I forget what I'm doing sometimes.
my goodness.
Switch cameras at the same time, gang.
Hey, it gets confusing.
Look, I can't chew gum and do that and pat the. I can't do it all together. I used to could.
Used to could, but
Yeah. What's that
Now
song?
you
Oh shoot.
uh,
Who did
I
that
can't
song?
do, what is it?
I was good as I once
Was.
was.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
Toby
that's
Keith.
Toby Keith.
Yeah.
Toby Keith,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, I wished him all the best, man. He's
He's a pretty
He's
bad
going
shape.
through
ain't
it.
yeah, he was in pretty bad shape for a while. I think he went to do one show and I think he did like 1 or 2 songs or something like that, and he had to graciously bow out. But I hope he gets well. I hope
Oh,
he
he
gets
will.
over it.
he? He's got to.
That's a battle.
It is.
It's a battle, man.
Dude, I don't wish that on nobody.
Nobody.
I don't care how much I hate them,
Yeah,
but I try not to hate anymore.
exactly.
Man,
So you can't. You got to forgive people, man.
you got to forgive. Hey,
Carry that
I'm
stuff
all for
around. It
that.
just makes a monster out of
it'll
you.
eat you alive too.
Yeah,
It will
exactly.
Eat you alive.
It's crazy how that happens.
Eat you alive. I've gotten over that part.
And you did a
I don't
damn
even
good
hate
job.
you no more, David.
Oh, well, I
I
appreciate
just
that.
kind of love you now.
Well, that's because we have food now.
Well, I know.
He's got dessert
That's
coming.
what you done convinced me to turn my mind around a while ago. You know, we start talking about food and dessert and all that stuff. So
Well, I mean, I kind of
I
took
love you, David.
you as a lemon meringue pie guy.
Oh my goodness!
Look out now.
Did I say I double love you?
Man, you just never know, dude. You never know. What's your favorite pie, man?
Oh my goodness, man. You know, I like cakes. My mom used to make me a carrot cake all the time.
Dude, I hadn't had a carrot cake in forever,
Man, it's good.
especially a good homemade one.
Oh,
Oh
man.
God.
It's good.
Mm.
I miss it.
Carrot cake and red velvet.
Oh man.
That red velvet?
I've never liked red velvet.
Really?
I've never have.
That's my 2 favorite cakes.
And I
Carrot
just
and red velvet.
give me something sweet, cake or pie or whatever, and a big old glass of milk.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Gotta
wait a
have
minute.
that milk.
Wait a minute. I feel a plug coming on. Gotta have that big old tall glass of purity dairy milk.
There you go. With eyes.
Boy, that sounded so good, David.
I know. I tried.
Can you do that again? Just-
No, probably not.
I like that deep voice. Yeah, one more time, David.
No, but I could record you something.
Could you?
Yeah.
What could you record me?
Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you will, welcome to the stage, Leon Everett.
Man.
Am I singing or wrestling?
I don't care.
That sounds like bring him on for wrestling.
Hey,
He's got it going on now.
I did an MC job for Freedom Jam out in Lake Wapapella.
Wow.
What?
It's a mouthful, trust me, because I just barely am able to pronunciate it. But Morgan Miles was the headline, and Taylor Hughes was on before her. And I've known Taylor since she's been on the show, and we cut up and talk and all that stuff. And she said, David, with your voice, I want you to do my announcement different than you do anybody else. And I'm like, what do you want, Taylor? She said, who's that guy that does that ring stuff, that, you know, ready to whatever it's called
yeah.
and all that other stuff? And I'm like, copyright infringement much? You can't do that. So, but yeah, she wanted me to go out there and announce her like she was coming to the ring, you know.
Man, it'd be good for some what do you call it? Voiceovers.
Yeah,
on
he'd
some
be
of our
good on
stuff,
voice. Yeah.
on some of our announcements. So,
Absolutely.
you know,
Absolutely.
Oh, I do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
That's whatever you want. I'm a cheap.
oh, you're a cheap.
Well, I had to cut that off because I don't really feel like that. I'm not real cheap.
Just a little cheap. No, man, you can. They weren't thinking
Yeah,
about that.
you
That'd be
could
some
do
good
it, man.
voiceover stuff.
Absolutely.
There, man. Yeah, for some of the stuff we're doing.
Whatever y'all need, just let me know.
Yeah.
I'll be more than happy to help y'all out
That would be awesome.
if I do it right. You might able to give me a list of stuff to do, and I'm liable to not do it like you want it.
I think you could do it.
Who knows?
Be fun to get out there, man.
Would it though?
Yeah.
Well, we could-
It's
gonna be-
on some of the
Yeah. Our promo
liners,
stuff.
yeah, promo things. That's what I was
Absolutely.
trying to come up with. I couldn't think of it.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll do that for us some, David?
Yeah. Whatever y'all need, man. Just let me know.
Let me hear you do it one more time.
What do you want?
I don't know. Just come up with something.
Just come up with something?
Yeah. This is the Sammy, Sadler, Leon Everette 80s and 90s and music and history tour.
Mm.
How you would do that? I mean, now you got to make us look good.
You got to make it look good.
I don't know if I can make it look good. I mean, have you seen me lately? I mean,
Let me rephrase that. My mind kind of slipped away a little bit.
yeah. Because you're like, the what was it, Werewolves of London? His hair was perfect. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
His hair is always perfect.
I know it.
It's like he just had it like that all the time.
It is.
He's got it.
I thought I had a wind.
He's got it
blown
trained.
the other day.
Yeah, I know.
Trained.
My
Had a
dad,
wind blown up.
my dad, when I was little, he had a DA. Always wore the DA.
Really?
Yeah, it was funny.
I tried different hairstyles and all like that. It just
Hey, I'll give you shell shock, man. Dad, I went to school. I come home. I have no
Hello.
clue what that is. Somebody's phone.
Somebody's phone.
that's mine.
You notice the girls have left us alone and went outside?
Girls have
Phone
gone.
ringing.
Yeah, and
That's my
yeah.
phone.
that will go answer it.
Okay.
There he goes. We'll be right back, folks.
Well, Leon will be right back. He's answering his phone. It's probably Rucker.
It might be. Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
You should have answered it and said, "What do you want? I'm on a show."
That's funny.
Oh
I just
Lord,
turned it off for now.
man.
Now you gonna do us a promo?
I'm thinking,
Man, that'd be
I'm
that'd be
thinking.
cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Play it every time we go out.
I'm thinking. I'll have to think about that.
That'd be good.
I mean, I want. It needs to sound something like. It's totally new and refreshed, but bringing back the heritage of days of old. I'll have to think of the wording.
Yeah.
This is where I
It's a
usually
hits and history tour.
hits in history tour.
80s and 90s.
The hits and
Mhm.
history.
Yeah. Celebrating the 80s and 90s.
That's it.
Leon Everette, Spiky Sadler.
Yes. See, I'm going to get the new nickname now.
Hey, now I think that's showy.
Yeah.
Is that not a show name
Hey,
or
we
what?
might
It
could
is
get a
shows.
hair.
Spike Sadler.
We might could get a
Spike.
hair sponsorship.
Yeah. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Spike Sadler.
Come on. Well,
Hair gel for men.
exactly.
You got to admit, man,
You
that
know,
rings a bell.
We can put that on the side of the bus.
Spike
Mhm.
Sadler.
Spiky Sadler.
Yeah.
I like Spiky. Spiky sounds fun.
Spiky.
Yeah, but Spikey makes him sound a little young.
Well, that's all right.
Spike.
What's wrong with that?
Spike.
Well, he's younger than me and you.
But I don't mean like young, but I mean like Spike means like Spike, wow, Spike Sadler is coming.
Ah.
Not Spiky Sadler.
So you want like some heavy footprints on that
Yes.
too? I mean,
Spike.
Spike.
kind of like a boom,
Spike.
boom, boom.
And here's a brand new record from Spike Sadler. That's right, man.
He might ought to do his own
I don't
voiceover,
know,
man.
That's what I was fixing to say. You
Don't
get
you
get
think
kind of
that's
low
good?
like Dave over here.
Come on, come on, get low, baby, get low.
Look at him.
Come
I've
on.
been listening to Dave, and he's one of my idols, and I wanted to talk like him too, So that way, me and him could carry on the conversation,
Y'all get down there like JD just about.
Even pop, boom, bump,
I
mo,
can't get that.
Oh man.
I can't get
boom, bop,
he can
boom,
rattle
bop,
it now.
boom, bop, bop, mo, mo.
Oh, look out.
Oh God, we're in infringing on
Yeah.
copies.
Yeah, I know we are. And I'm glad everybody's out there listening to the David Bradley show tonight. And, we have as our special guest here tonight, Sammy Sadler's, better than Spike.
And Boo
and
Everett,
Leon Everett over there.
better known as Boo.
Yeah, huh?
Boo.
I ain't no boo.
Oh yeah, that's what Diane told me today.
Well, yeah, but
Is that what Diane calls him
Yeah,
all the
she
time?
told me,
Boo?
said, I said, what am I going to do? She goes, call him Boo.
Boo.
I'm
Hey,
a
boo.
I'm a boo boo.
Hey, boo.
I asked, I said, why'd you start calling me boo boo? And she said, I don't know. Sometimes I think it's the biggest boo boo I ever made.
Oh no.
Oh, Lord.
Hey,
Man.
but I call her Monkey too. Her name's Monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's my little monkey.
And then Pumpkin. Where's Pumpkin?
Yeah,
Pumpkin's
well,
outside.
I don't know where
She's
they
somewhere.
all left
She's
us.
running
She's
around.
somewhere.
They just flat left us.
I know.
Guess they didn't want to hang with us.
That's sad that we are totally unsupervised at present moment.
I'm telling you. we run our supervision clean out of the room. In here.
That's
Oh,
accomplishing something, you know.
Hey, we might could sell a patent on that. We ought to
We
write
might.
the instructions.
We might could. We might
But-
could.
Well, what do you
Some of
think?
that music from the 80s and 90s, though, I believe some of the best music made
Well, I do too.
You
I
know.
mean,
and
to me,
produced.
yeah. Well, from the 70s, 70s music, 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was your best
I
stuff.
think it was some of the
in my
best.
book.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I
And-
mean, Waylon really got into his groove during that time, and a bunch of them really.
Yeah.
Everybody was getting into that.
Mm-hmm.
It was, to me, it was warmer, more beautiful produced
well,
sound.
I know everything's digital and all that now, but I mean, the analog sound was just mellow.
Well, somebody asked me, I have a granddaughter in a refrigerator now. What are you getting? Ice cream?
This show is so relaxed.
It is, man.
It's so relaxed.
Look, you're gonna sit around the table. There's a fridge.
gotta-
People gonna be going in and out
That's
of it.
it.
So,
I love it.
where was I at?
Talking about
Who
the
knows?
Ah,
Waylon
yes,
getting in his
yes,
groove.
yes. The thing, somebody asked me, how can you make the digital sound warmer? And I looked him right square dab in the eye and I said, take that damn board and throw it away. Because he had an analog board sitting right there.
Hmm.
And he's like, yeah, but I can't get clean tracks. And I'm like, that's your problem. Because when we was recording stuff back in the day, the band set up in the whole same room.
Yeah,
The mics were in front of the amps.
right. Exactly.
You was picking up bleed over everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Now you could isolate it a little bit, but it still had that whole room chorus type feel to it. And I really believe that's what made it sound warm.
They did. Well, they could have. And it's made it sound so full.
Yeah.
So full sounding. You didn't need the loud, distorted guitars on that kind of stuff and,
No.
and playing loud rhythm and all this stuff to get a big sound. You had a big sound.
Well, that's
Because
like,
I believe, like you said, you had the bleed overs.
well, it's like when Ted Nugent first started. He had that big guitar. I can't even remember what they call them now. But he was the only rock guy playing that guitar. And he was getting distortion out of it. He was getting all kinds of stuff out of it. He didn't have all these fancy little pedals.
Hmm.
He didn't have a pedal board. He didn't have
No.
a computer hooked into it. And he was just jamming.
That's
I
right.
loved it. And some of the sounds that early country stars got out of the guitars, they wasn't pedals and all that stuff back then.
Oh, right.
You played with the amp, you played with the guitar, and you played with the strings, and you figured it out. I mean,
Wait.
that's what I hate about the digital.
Yeah.
You ain't got to figure it out anymore. You just hit a button.
Well, you know how the the old fuzz guitar sound or whatever.
Mhm.
You know how that got started, don't you?
Mm.
Marty Robbins.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
And
that was on the steel, wasn't it?
No, it was on the guitar, and it was an accident. And like David said, back then, you recorded. Everybody was recording. It wasn't overdubbing.
No.
Back then.
That's when they had them tube amps.
Tube.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And everybody was playing.
Yeah.
If you made a mistake, everybody had to quit.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody would get,
Rewind the tape.
let's do it again.
Yeah.
Don't make a mistake twice.
Yeah.
It starts getting aggravated.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, you played it,
Mm-hmm.
and don't worry about me.
Mhm.
When the guitar player did it, he went, when he hit it, the speaker cracked. And they
Ah.
had such a good track going, and they just kept rolling it.
Yeah.
And they were going to try to go back and just do him again. That's kind of, they were starting a little overdubbing back then.
Yeah.
But you remember when you go,
Oh, yeah.
that was
Yeah.
a busted speaker.
And they kept it.
When they went back and listened to it,
Yeah.
they
I
said,
said, man, that sounds good.
never heard no such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what started. And then they started coming up, inventing the boss tone. I think it wasn't the first one like boss tones or
I don't know because I'm not a guitar player.
yeah, I think it was like a boss tone. I don't remember anyway to get that distorted sound. And they can mash the button and get that distorted stuff.
Yeah. And then the
But it
distortion
started-
box and all that.
That was the first distorted guitar. Was on Marty Robbins. Don't worry about me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, busted speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Pure
then
freak accident.
Peter
Yeah.
Frampton come up with that Framptonator or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was pretty neat. I liked it because it was something you could play with.
And old Phil Ball.
Yeah.
Remember Phil Ball. In fact, my song Over
Mm-hmm.
that I cut in 1979, and it was my first top 10 record
Yeah.
on the independent label. And we was cutting it, and we never could get that intro exactly like we was wanting it. Nothing was going right. And Phil just come up. He said, listen, I'm working on a prototype thing I'm working on. And I don't remember what he called it. But he said, I got it out there in the car. He said, if you don't mind, we can try it and see what happens. He come bringing that thing in there and had these cables hanging off of the neck. And he almost had one pedal almost like a steel, a steel
Mhm.
guitar, like a pedal that he could mash and stuff.
Yeah.
And he would take that neck and pull it up and down and pull those cables. And he'd get it up so tight and then he'd mash that pedal like a steel. And if you can go back, remember 1979, that kickoff?
Mm-hmm.
Bop, bop, wow, bop,
Oh, yeah.
bop. That was a guitar. That
Mhm.
was Phil Ball. That was the first record he ever played it on.
That
And
is
it was
wild.
still he was working on it.
Yeah.
It wasn't even actually gone into a prototype production thing. He was
Right.
had cables just hanging all over it,
Mm-hmm.
playing with it. But that's the first song that Phil Ball actually played on a record was Over, and it was my first top 10 record
Wow.
in 1979.
Little history right
Yeah.
there.
It's amazing what you can learn on this
I'm
show.
telling you.
Yeah, Phil Ball.
It's awesome, man.
Well, when you have old people on your show,
Well-
Yeah, well, look, I don't. I'm gonna tell you something that I've noticed though. We've been talking a lot and talking about a bunch of stuff that goes on, and the analog and the digital and all this other stuff. But I'll tell you the one thing that I'm most proud of from listening to a lot of other artists that have come on here that have been started and singer-songwriters and all that. They're searching for that sound. They're actually trying to write 70s, 80s, 90s. They're wanting a song with a story in it. It's really, really, really invigorating to know that it's starting to come back around.
I believe that.
And
They
I
say
love
history
it.
repeats itself.
Yeah.
And I really do. And me and my wife, we'll be scrolling on Facebook and stuff. And, when you'll see these like teenagers,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, young guys or young girls or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're doing their little thing at their house or whatever,
Yeah.
And they're singing country music.
Yeah.
I saw this kid on there, I think he was like 16 years old, and he was doing Hello Wall.
Yeah.
I mean, he was eating it alive. Like, yes, man. And me and hers talked about that and said there's so many, these young people, they're the ones that's actually doing the classic country music now.
Yeah.
They're the ones that's doing, not the older ones.
Mhm.
They're still in that there getting down stuff. But the young people is really doing the classic country music.
Oh, yeah.
And she said, why is that? I said, because they've never heard it before.
Mm-mm.
And they
Never
come
have.
across some old something other, and they done fallen in love with a new music. Man, this
Yeah.
Sammy, listen to this,
Yeah.
man. This is full wall.
Oh, I know.
Have you ever heard anything like that before? It's like a brand new music to them.
Yeah.
Well, the country music we knew, it's about storytelling. It's about real life. It's about what you live.
And it's got
You know,
old timers like us.
yeah.
And now, the ones that's in here now.
Yeah.
But as they go out, what's following up now is the younger generation that's going back to the old stuff, what we used to do.
Oh, yeah.
Because they've never heard it before.
Exactly. I know.
30-year-old even, they ain't never heard country music.
Oh, no. They ain't heard nothing
we
about
think
that.
about.
Not what
No.
we
When
know.
you say country, oh, y'all listen to country. They ain't never heard country like we're talking
Mm-mm.
about. And to them, it's all new.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
all new to them. And so they're really getting into this new thing.
Yeah.
And I believe it's going to make a full circle.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have fiddles and steels. You're going to have all that stuff back in there again.
I know. I'm going to love it too.
Me too.
My eyeballs are floating. I'll be right back.
And
Talk amongst yourselves.
well, this is Leon Everett, and you are.
Sammy Sadler.
And we are here at the David Bradley Show. And he is the host of the show.
Portland,
But
Tennessee.
And yeah, in Portland, Tennessee,
Yes.
in the David Bradley Show. And evidently he had to go pee-pee.
I think he said his eyeballs were floating.
Well, that's kind of
so I
telling me he had to
think
pee-pee.
he had to
And so
take a break.
he looked at us and said, keep the show going, boys.
You left
we know
it in-
what we're doing.
I don't know what kind of hands he left it in, but
He must think we know what we're doing. Hey, folks, we don't have one clue what we're doing.
I don't know if the
We need
ratings,
some more comments coming in so we can read comments or something.
his ratings might go down.
He don't.
He don't know what he
Oh,
just
boy,
did.
Don't know what he did. He just killed the David Bradley Show.
And I done heard everything y'all
Oh, there he goes. Now he's
Did
sliding
you
back
have a
in.
reaction?
I feel better.
He looks happy
I hope
now.
you still got a show going.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
Oh,
Y'all driving me.
man. That's
Well,
what
ladies and
country.
gentlemen, the host is back now.
Yeah.
We got to go back to being civilized now. We're
Okay.
the guests.
Okay. I'm
Straighten up, Leon.
Yeah, we're,
I'm gonna read a couple of more comments we got on here. Eric Morrow, actually Eric Morrow and Thomas Marino, they're the ones that actually suggested I get into podcasting. So
Oh, there you go.
big
man.
shout out to those
Yeah,
guys.
man.
Eric said, "Hello, everyone." Hi, Eric. And then he said the music was great in the 80s and the 90s because it was pure.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Today they are using audio match, and I'm like, yeah, they do.
Yep.
So it's crazy. And then Thomason said, "That's code for PP."
Yeah.
Oh,
I love the comment section on this thing that they can do, man. Technology.
technology.
Well, it's like we was talking the other day, Leon. You know, they don't even let steel guitar and some of the stuff downtown.
Down
And
on Broad.
yeah, I mean, they don't even,
Tootsie's is one. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it.
you
Tootsie's
know,
won't even let you have a steel guitar in there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want it.
Does that make any sense?
country music's not
Doesn't to me.
country music without a steel and a fiddle.
No.
You know,
But I know two artists. I believe I do. I think they said this. Both of them said that they were going to try and incorporate steel in some of their new upcoming music. So
I always keep steel in mine.
it's,
I'll never leave out a steel.
people don't understand though, with a steel, it ain't all
Yeah.
It's not all that. It's a whole lot more.
Sure is.
I mean, you get a talented steel player, dude, you ain't even got to have the rest of the people in the band. You just track him on
It's a
everything.
full instrument if you play it
And
right.
they're not, and some places don't even have keyboards anymore. It's hard to find keyboard players.
It's hard to find keyboard.
You know what I
players.
mean? They're going with, guitar, bass, drums. They're just going with three or four pieces now.
What I call it is the Eagles setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know, man. To me, if you're going to run a good country show, you gotta have piano.
You got to have that.
You gotta have a steel.
Gotta
That's
have a
it.
fiddle.
I love a fiddle.
Oh, I do too.
That's like when Garth Brooks was coming up and he had that dude playing fiddle for him. Man, that sucker could cut a daggum rug on that thing.
Right.
I mean, he was just wearing it out. And I think pound for pound, he's probably one of the best fiddle players I've ever heard.
Really?
Yeah.
I back in my day, I come across a lot of.
You're going to have to quit with that back in my day crowd.
Well,
Today's your day too. You know that, right?
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gotta
I
let-
know they let me out of the nursing home for a little while to come up here. So
No, they let you out of the nursing home so you quit causing trouble. That's why.
Well, they said go up there and cause David a little trouble a while, and he'll give you some dessert, and then you can come back.
Yeah, I'm gonna jack you up on sweet stuff so you can go.
They checked me back in tonight.
Come on.
Diane's just gonna pull up, open the door, and kick you out.
Oh my goodness.
Man, I'm telling you what, you are a mess.
That's what she says. You're just a mess.
You sure you're gonna be able to tour with him?
Hey man, I'm telling you, it's like you said earlier, man. He's got more energy than a 20-year-old.
I know.
And
It amazes me.
And he doesn't look 75. People just today, man,
I'm
a guy just
75.
blew his mind when he told him he's 75.
Yeah, he was interviewing me, and then something other come about age, and I said 75, and he just like his eyes got that big, and he just stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, "Not for real." I said, "Yeah, for real."
Yeah.
March 27th, I was 75.
And that's something, man.
It's crazy.
You know,
I don't see how he does it.
Well,
Are you jacked up on Mountain Dew? Is that what it is?
no. But up to 27 years ago, I mean, I was bad news. I was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
A lot of people knows my story, but I was an alcoholic, bad alcoholic. I even went to rehab, and it didn't do any good. And it got so bad. This was back in 1985, Dave,
Mm-hmm.
when I was with RCA. This had a lot to do with my leaving the music industry in 85.
Yeah.
Because, in 1985, I was on my 11th straight top 10 record. I had 13 number one records, but I had 11 of them was straight.
Yeah.
And I was on my 11th straight top 10 record, and I was at 8 Super Bullet. And, but I had a bad, I mean, I was an alcoholic. I know that, but I was in denial. I kept saying, nah, I ain't no alcoholic. I just like to drink.
Yeah. Yeah. It tastes good.
Yeah. And I got into it with the officials at RCA, and one thing that another, they said, boy, you got to get straight. And so they said they would send me to rehab, and they did. They sent me to rehab, and that didn't do any good. So finally they called me in there and, said, hey, we got a final straw here, you got to make some decisions. And it was some political decisions along with the alcohol.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's
It wasn't
always.
just the alcohol.
Yeah.
But they even said that, if you will agree to it, we'll send you to a clinic, an alcoholic clinic.
Mm-hmm.
And said, would you go? I said, yeah, I'll go. And I thought it was going to be more like the rehab thing.
Right.
But you know what a real alcoholic clinic is? Most people don't even know.
I
what it
actually have
is.
no clue.
Okay. It's almost, I tell people they putting you in jail, because it's not. But it's like a little apartment thing, little old bitty room. All you got is a bed, this and that and the other. And they take you and they give you the orientation, about what's going to happen. You talk your story, and how all that orientation stuff.
Right.
goes.
Right.
And then they tell you, we're going to start you out on the medicine, and then we'll start you out on injections and all this kind of stuff, and it's supposed to make you sick, and it does. If you smell alcohol, I mean, you just losing it.
Yeah.
And then they put My choice was vodka. I mean, I was hooked on vodka.
Yeah.
And on the dresser, they'd put a bottle of vodka in your room. And back in the day when I get so bad and all, I know what it was like to go through withdrawal sweats and DTs. I knew what it was like, what was coming on. When your gut was just be turned upside down and twisted in a knot. And
hurting.
And hurting.
Bad.
You ever heard this?
No.
This will blow your mind.
And
I know.
But, I was so bad. I'm going to finish so bad, but tell you how bad I was. The reason they wanted me to go to a clinic, because I was in denial. And I said, well, I don't have a drinking problem. I just like getting, I just like drinking. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, then it was back in 85. And then we were doing a big tour out west. And all out in Kansas and all out in there back in those days, they were dry states. You could buy alcohol in those states back then.
Yeah.
And we was doing like a 2-week tour all out in there. And so I loaded my buses down with the vodka and stuff like that to make sure I had enough for 2 weeks. A 2-week run. We was all out in the Midwest.
2-week run would be like maybe one bottle for me, maybe.
Oh,
I come back with some left over.
It was so bad, David. My stateroom, I slept on the floor in the lounge. I had 2 buses.
Yeah.
And my personal bus and the band bus, but I was sleeping up on the floor in the lounge when I would be sleeping because my stateroom was stacked with cases of vodka.
Good God, man.
I didn't drink mixed drinks. I mean, I drank, just like right out of the bottle. I mean, it was 24/7. That's all I did. I drank straight vodka.
So you're drinking a vodka like water.
Exactly water. And my stateroom would have full of cases of vodka. Well, so happened we did that tour, and right towards the end of the tour, the promoter, they come up, they extended the tour all out in the Midwest. Nowhere could I get any more vodka. I started panicking. Then I started started nursing what I could.
Yeah.
But it got where it wasn't doing no good, and sweat started and all this stuff. Well, then things started happening, and I became so bad. Everybody hated me. The band was ready to just leave me, and they were going. Forget it. I mean, I was hateful to everybody. I was an awful person.
Rude and crude.
And so we found out that brown shoe polish. You remember the brown shoe polish and the bottles?
Yeah.
You remember the liquid?
I don't like where this is going, Leon.
Yeah. Hey, man, this is deep, man.
The old liquid bottles.
Yeah.
You had the dauber in it. You painted your shoes. Polish your shoes with.
Yeah, it had alcohol in it.
Somebody told us that brown shoe polish, just the brown, had more alcohol in it than anything had.
It's stout when you.
So I'm going. I was doing anything. I had to do something. So we stopped at a drugstore sometime where we could get brown shoe polish at, and we got a couple bottles and we brought it on the bus, and we took a glass and a handkerchief and started straining it. And man, it's like got all muddy like stuff in it and all. It don't change the color, but we strained the brown shoe polish.
Yeah.
I started drinking the brown shoe polish, and sure enough, it started working. My gut started easing out.
Yeah.
And it started working. So then from that point on, every little town, every store, anything that sold shoe polish, we were stopping, and the band would go in here and go in there. We was buying up all the brown shoe polish that you could get.
Damn.
I mean, wherever the hurricane bus went through,
yeah,
we left, there was no brown shoe polish left.
Everybody thought you had some serious shoe problems.
We bought it all up, and we get on and we started straining it in jars.
Yeah.
And of course my teeth they just looked terrible, and I was brushing them constantly, trying to brush them. But they still just so stained and brown, And, but that's how bad it got. But I got through that tour.
Yeah.
And then, like I say, when I come back, this was where all this stuff led to the clinic.
Yeah.
That's how bad I was, but I still denied it, that I wasn't an alcoholic. I was still denying it. So then when I went to the clinic, like I said, they had a bottle of vodka sitting right there on my dress. I said, "No, that's about the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I'm in here. You're going to go through all this here stuff, and I'm already got the medicine and all, and the injection thing stuff."
Yeah.
And they got a bottle of vodka in there in my room.
Kind of like a teaser.
But I found out what it was for. Because you can't take it no more. You take a swallow of that vodka, it's coming back, and it's coming back quick. You don't even get it down hardly. It's coming back. But I couldn't quit. And I kept drinking it and throwing it up. Then finally, you got nothing else to throw up.
Yeah.
And then that's when you really start hurting, because everything in you, because you're dry heaving, everything in you is just crushing inside. I mean, it's so sore, you couldn't hardly touch yourself. You're so sore.
Yeah.
And this went on. And by the way, all the throw up, they don't come in there and clean that up.
You do.
You got to clean it up.
Yeah.
And so when that bottle is done, they bring another one. Oh, man. They bring another. I was in there for 2 weeks. Finally, they had to release me. I done dried up. I was literally dying because I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. And, but I couldn't put it down. And so after about 2 weeks, they found doctors not coming. They had to release me.
Yeah.
I was literally dying. And so they released the thing and back to RCA Records, one of them, and said that I was classified as an extreme alcoholic. And an extreme alcoholic is a medical term. That means you can't be cured of the type of alcoholism I had.
Yeah.
And
kind of screws up your contract a little bit.
It really did. And then, like I said, that and political things with RCA, it just led to a end of my music career. I put it that way.
Yeah, because I remember last time we didn't really get in depth on all this, but you was just like, we partied and I went to the Carolinas.
That's about what it amounted to. And then I stayed drunk, and I built a big nightclub down there, Hurricane Central, and all this kind of stuff. And I stayed drunk up until 27 years ago. And I got treated to go to church, and I went to church. And
well, that's what I was going to ask you. What was the trigger that just stopped you?
Well, in my big nightclub, I built a big nightclub, and huge, the biggest one in the Southeast. And I built it by code. I had already been open for 7 years, having a liquor license, the whole thing. I mean, I'd been open for 7 years, and I built the club by code. Well, they came out and inspected it and everything, passed, boom, boom. And
Yeah.
So here I am. I'm up and running for 7 years. And then one Thursday night, they came in there, fire marshals, and they shut me down, said I didn't have enough exit doors. And so I had to put another exit doors. And I wasn't a Christian then, I'd let them hold it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Close me down.
Yeah.
They can.
Exactly.
They can. And so I called a friend of mine to help me get a door in. I said, man, I don't know what I'm doing. Help me get this door in. So he came down, and he was a good Christian boy. And he went to a Holy Roller church too.
Okay, yeah.
It was a Holy Roller. And I said, oh boy, he ain't gonna come down and help me. But he did. He came down and helped me. He put this door in. I got to open back up and all that kind of good stuff and all. But he wouldn't let me pay him anything. He would not let me pay him a dime. And he hollered, when he was going out the door, he hollered at me. He stuck his head back in the door. He said, by the way, church starts at 11 o'clock Sunday morning. I said, oh, no, you didn't. You ain't going to get me in no church. I ain't going to no church. I grabbed handfuls of money and tried to chase him down, go throw money at him.
Yeah,
and he went out the parking lot hollering, driving out in his truck, 11 o'clock. So I went drunk as a skunk on that Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And, I got somebody to take me because I was drunk.
Yeah, you couldn't drive.
And actually, this is honest God truth, they had a threshold that built up to keep the water from coming there because it's kind of low when it rained hard.
Yeah.
I stumbled in and fell into the church my first Sunday morning.
Only thing I'm getting from this is, okay, basically God had that boy do that to you.
He did.
Yeah.
And then God made sure that threshold was there. That way, when you walked in, you would slam the floor and wake the heck up.
And like I say, I'm not, no offense to anybody, because I'm a holy roller myself. I'm Pentecostal holiness. That's what I guess. But, I didn't know nothing about no church. But all I knew, I was at this here holiness church down there. And here I am fell into church, down in the floor, and all I could see, I seen pictures of these here holy roller people, man. They just roll around the floor. And I said, so I'm feeling right at home now.
Man.
But you know, those little country folks in that church, they didn't come there and they didn't throw me out like a lot of the big churches would do today.
Oh, yeah.
They did not. And they loved me. They loved me in there. And it just done something to me. And I stayed till church was over. And the next Sunday, I wanted to go back by myself.
Awesome.
And the next Sunday, I was still drunk. It was 6 months I went to church drunk as a skunk. But then and my little monkey, we wasn't married yet. She wanted to start going with me. She said, what are you doing? I said, I don't know, but I'm going to church.
Yeah.
Even though I was drunk.
Yeah.
And so she started going with me. And then we got married in that little church.
Awesome. I love that.
Married in that little church and went on a honeymoon. And the very first Sunday we came back, she got saved. 2 weeks later, I got saved. And then we went home that night and I had my cases of vodka there at the house.
Yeah.
And I was doing all the smoking. I was doing all kind of things.
Oh, yeah.
We burnt everything, anything that wasn't godly. We was burning it.
Yeah.
And then I said, let's go get the vodka. We went outside and we started popping tops and pouring it out, cases and cases of it. Me and her, we was pouring it out.
Mm-hmm.
We poured it out. That was 27 years ago. Now, mind you, I've been to an alcoholic clinic.
Well, that's what I was fixing to say.
Almost died.
And shoe polish.
And we poured it out that night. 27 years ago, we poured it out that night. I've never taken another drop since. Ain't had an urge for it since. Never went through any withdrawals, DTs, sweats. I went through absolutely nothing. Clean and all my other junk too now.
Yeah.
And everything. 27 years I've been clean and sober. Period.
That's awesome.
That's what I don't mind. I'm proud of this. I'm a born again Christian. I'm loving it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm having a good old time now and proud of it. But that's what my God can do. And I always tell people, I said, thank God for these doctors.
Yeah.
God gave them, he's put them here for us.
Oh, yeah. Gave them a skill.
But sometimes, I don't care what those doctors said on my report that I was an extreme alcoholic, couldn't be cured. I said, I just went and got a second opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
God knew what he had in store for you, brother.
Exactly. I just got the second opinion.
And I could just imagine the bond between you and her over all of that.
God has just changed my whole life around.
I know.
27 years. I've been having a ball, man.
I know. Because you show it every day.
Hey, tell them about the part where you got down to the last bottle. Tell them what the devil's trying to do.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got down to the last bottle. And, like the old devil, he's a liar and a deceiver anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, I got down and I went to pop that last bottle. And it's like, something. Well, you better keep that last bottle.
Oh, you had the little angels on your shoulders.
Yeah. He had the devil and the angel.
The devil and the angel.
Yeah.
And he said, you might ought to keep that last bottle. I mean, you know what it's like to go through DT. You know what it's like to be sick. You know what it's like for you good. You really know. So I'm glad that you made this decision, but you might better keep that last bottle just in case you get in trouble. And I almost fell for it.
Yeah.
And I looked over there and my little monkey, Diane, she was over there and she said, what are you doing? I said, well, I might ought to keep this one last little bottle, And all of a sudden, those big old tears started coming out of her eyes. She started crying on it. I said, what's wrong with you? And she said, you just spit in God's face.
Mm-hmm.
Said, well, that hit me. I said, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He said, you just left the church down there. You was crying all, and you was begging God to take that alcohol from you, take it from you. And now you're here, and you ain't got enough faith to think that God can't take it from you.
Yeah.
And I popped the top, poured it out. I've been
Done.
clean and sober for
That's
27
awesome,
years and ain't looked back.
That's awesome.
And I'm just one happy little lark.
I know. 75 years old, running around like a 28.
I think, well, God might have let me drink that much back then to keep me pickled for a while. Because, I do a lot of country gospel now. I do a lot of churches. I go through my testimony. And also I said, well, God just pickled me, I guess, so I
Yep.
could give my testimony. and
That's
stuff.
awesome, man.
And everywhere he goes, he's doing a early morning prayer.
Yeah,
And I love it.
absolutely.
No matter where I'm going to do, I get up early in the morning, I do my prayer and my pledge.
I know, because the job
I'm a
I've got.
two-time Vietnam veteran, you know, and I'm proud of that.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
proud of that.
Well, I get up 4 o'clock every morning.
Ooh.
Then I get to work.
Yeah.
And, you know, we get those first moves out of the way and everything
Yeah.
else and get kind of settled into a groove. And I'm like, oh, hey, my phone just dinged. Oh, there's Leon. And I sat there for about 5 minutes and watched.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I love it.
We all got stories to tell, and I'm thankful for God, what He's done for me,
Mhm.
and I'm thankful to God for putting Sammy Sadler in my life too. I mean, you talk about an incredible story.
Oh, I know. We fixing to
This is
get
an
into that.
incredible story
Yeah,
right here, and I mean, you know, the man was left for dead.
Mhm.
Now, he ain't dead. See, God had a purpose
Exactly.
for him too, because
Oh,
he's
you
a
did.
Christian, and I mean, that's just kind of put everything together.
Yeah. So I was raised Southern Baptist.
Southern Baptist.
And the church we went to was called Salem Baptist Church. Little bitty. I mean, you couldn't have got 45 people in that church, you know. But my great grandmother played the piano, and Papa Joe played the guitar. Somebody else played the guitar. I can't remember. Junior. I think Junior did, because Junior was the choral guy, the chorus guy, and Dad sang bass in the chorus. And when my voice started dropping and everything, he drug me up there, and he was down here and I was right here, and we had the bass section covered, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was awesome. But you don't find little churches like that anymore.
No, not anymore.
It's
Oh, they're
a
out there.
rarity.
A few, you know, they're out there. Some, but it's
There's one here in Portland, not maybe mile and a half, and I've passed it a couple of times. I'm like, I might go up there and check that place out. It's a Baptist church.
But that don't make any difference. You know what it is.
yeah.
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
People get into this thing, you know, about the name tag. You know what it is, what it is, what it is. We're talking about politics. We ain't got general politics, but that's what churches are too. That's politics.
It's all politics.
Well, you're one of them holy rollers, and you're the Baptist, and you're the Methodist. Yeah. What difference do it make? We're all brothers. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
we all believe in the same thing.
Yeah. And you're just coming together and celebrating
Exactly.
together. You know.
So, did we lose somebody again?
No, I was just trying to figure out. I heard a door shut, so I was just trying to figure that out.
I love this show, man. Well, what are we doing? Well, I don't know.
I know, we're looking
Somebody
around.
closing the door, I reckon.
What's next? What's next? Who
I
knows?
love it, man.
I'll tell you what we're going to do next. We're going to do this. We're going to do, and this came out when, Sammy?
That come out, I think, in 2021, David.
Well, it says here 1989.
It's titled 1989. That's the title of the album.
Y'all got to check this out.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. Oh, there we go. Yay. Man. And this is, how many songs? I got to take my glasses off. I can't read up close. I'm old. Oh, Lord. Tell It Like It Is.
Yeah.
The Church on Cumberland Road. Why am I thinking I heard that a long time ago?
You did. What we did, Dave, is we went back to the year 1989,
Mm-hmm.
whenever the Murder on Music Row happened to me.
I remember.
Leon was leaving Nashville in 1985 when I was coming in.
Mhm.
And I got a record deal. And from 1985 to 89, I had 6 nationally charted records. And the O. Aaron Neville song, Tell It Like It Is, was my fastest rising single. And they were getting ready to go in and cut an album on us. And we had that out in 1989 whenever the Murder on Music Row happened to me. My career came to a halt that night. And Billy Joe Roll ended up cutting the song, naming his album Tell It Like It Is, and still remains the biggest record of his career. They took it to number 2.
That's awesome.
And they had a duel going on at radio with mine and Billy Joe's record. But because, Billy Joe had already had, I think, Burn Like a Rocket and a couple other things. He was on Atlantic Records and they had the power and the money.
Oh, yeah.
And, with all of that happening that night, my career came to a halt. And, we were just, for whatever reason, I was involved in one of the biggest black eyes that Nashville's ever had in the country music field. Only God knows why that had to happen. I'm just thankful to still be alive and still be here.
Yeah. Cause I'm, in 89, I was doing lights all around Nashville, Sal's and all that other stuff, all the hard rock clubs and stuff. And because I got to thinking about it because I had totally forgotten all about it till I met you the other day.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, because I think I was doing a show out at Sal's when we all heard about the shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, dude, that's bad. Because I mean, I can't even remember exactly how the newspapers had it and all that other stuff. Newspapers, that's what used to come, and you could go to this little box and open it up, and it was a big wad of paper with print
they throw
on
it on your front door.
Yeah, they wrote it on your front door. Had coupons in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I was just like, man, I hated it because the whole everything around it, what people were saying, and everything else. And, back then you didn't really know what was hype, what was true, what was, just totally blown out, exaggerated. You never did.
Well, it was, it was definitely a eye-opening experience for me to, it's stuff that you'd watch stuff on TV, seeing things happen, and you're like, man, that can't happen to me. But when it does, and you live through it, man, it's just, it's a life-changing experience, And it was known around the world. It flew around the world in one night. Murder on Music Row. And, for 13 and a half years, I had to live my life not knowing who, why, what this was all about. Was somebody still trying to kill me? I didn't know anything about anything.
Yeah.
Whenever I got shot, I was 21 years old. I believe Kevin was 24 or 23 or 24. And I had no clue how the music business ran, what it was all about. I thought, man, if you could sing, you get a record deal, I thought that's how it worked, but that's not how it works.
No.
And,
and it was a lot shadier back then too.
Well, and I mean, that's the thing about it is that, the content of this, when it all finally came out, it all come about, it was all about payola, and it was about some record promoters trying to pay Kevin underneath the table.
Kevin was the chart.
Yeah, Kevin was the chart manager for Cashbox.
Yeah.
And, back then, Cashbox was a rivalry to Billboard.
Oh, yeah.
And, so those top 100 records in the charts, where they moved was important.
Oh, yeah.
And, it ended up, I think there was 5 or 6 record promoters involved in it. And, they were trying to pay Kevin off to move their records up the charts that they were promoting. And Kevin wouldn't take their money and wouldn't do what they wanted him to do. And so they had him shot and murdered. And I just happened to be with him that night.
And they left you for dead.
They left me. Yeah. I mean, and they shot me at point blank range. The guy, I started to reach for the door to shut Kevin's car door. And when I looked up, I thought I saw something moving out of the corner of my eye. And I looked up and the guy's just right there on top of me with a gun. And I just said, oh my God, this guy's got a gun. I threw my arms up to just cover my head. And that's when he shot. And it hit me in the arm. Had 100 staples running down my arm, and the bullet in my shoulder.
I was going to say, I did not order background music.
I don't know. Yeah, that's all right.
Everybody was bugging me to turn my phone on silent. Now everybody else's phone's going off.
But I mean, it was a major scandal in the music business, and
Yeah, I mean, it was a big roar on all that.
and it took them 13 and a half years and to solve it. But the crazy thing about it, is like I said, I was 21, Kevin's 24.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how the music business worked. I mean, I had nothing, didn't know anything about it. Kevin and I didn't talk about business. So obviously I didn't know anything was going on because he didn't tell me anything. But, after it all happened, it's like the police treated me like a suspect from day one.
Oh yeah.
Like they even come to me one time and said, we got somebody that told us you're supposed to get Kevin down here and get him shot and killed. And I said, man, y'all are crazy.
Oh, well, they got to tie something in somewhere.
And I mean, when you know that you're innocent and you don't have a clue, I mean, man, it blew my mind, for them to even insinuate that. And it's put a cloud over my career.
What were you going to get out of it?
Exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. What am I going to get out of it?
Well, you didn't even know the industry that good.
Exactly. But I mean, what did I benefit? What would I have benefited out of doing something like that?
I
didn't get a record deal.
I can't think of
your career.
My career's over, and I've done many interviews and TV things, and one reporter in one of the interviews said, well, we tried to get in touch with Sammy, but he was hiding out in Texas. I've never hid out anywhere. I don't have anything to hide. I don't have anything that I'm ashamed of. I'm just a survivor.
Yeah.
That God left me here. He saved my life. And I'm just trying to tell a story of what I lived through my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't create the music business. I didn't create how they do business, how they do things and how they pay off stuff to make people's career. That's not on me. That's on you.
Yeah, exactly.
And, don't make me or Kevin Hughes look like our characters and our, like we're shady people. I wasn't raised that way.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin Hughes wasn't raised that way either. And, everybody rallies around something that happens to the artist or somebody in the music business. They rally around them. They help them. They support them. Nobody ever rallied around us. Nobody ever helped us.
Well, I mean,
on anything.
The whole image of all of it was painted so dark and so sinister from the get-go.
Absolutely.
I remember a lot about it. I mean, I was just like, dude, because I remembered that they were trying to pin a lot of it on you. And then it was like you disappeared for a while.
Well, what I did is,
2 years to get over.
It took me,
it
took me,
surgeries, all these surgeries you had to go through.
And but I just moved back to Texas to my home and back to where my roots are, my family. And I went back to recover.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of protection in your family too. I mean, you're in a place that you don't know anything about anybody, and I mean, hell, you didn't know why, anything. So, I mean, I don't went to where I was safe, man.
Well, and I told the police everything that I knew.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I couldn't tell you anymore. And on top of all of that, after I've done everything they've asked me to do, answered all their questions, they end up bringing me in to take a lie detector test. I go through that and I pass it. The next thing I know, they're taking me to Vanderbilt to get me hypnotized at Vanderbilt. And they're sitting on the couches behind me as I'm in this professor's office, which I've never been hypnotized or gone through anything like that. So when it was all over, the only thing that I told them any different than I told them from day one was a guy had on a heavier jacket.
Yeah, you remembered that.
I remembered that.
Yeah, and you're deep.
When I get through, the police officers stand up and they ask the guy, said, was he really hypnotized? They didn't even believe it.
So why bring you there?
I mean, it just, as I look back over all this, I mean, it hurts me. It still hurts me today.
Well, yeah.
To think I've never had the opportunity to talk to Kevin Hughes' family. The police would not let us talk to them. If they ever made Kevin Hughes's family think that I had something to do with this or was involved in this, it hurts me. It breaks my heart because it's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Now, how long had you and him been friends?
Kevin and I had become friends. I think we had known each other about 7 or 8 months.
Yeah.
And it's just like I said today with Leon. I mean, sometimes you meet people in your life that you just click with.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened between me and Leon. And I feel like that we'll be friends for life. And I feel like that's what would have happened with Kevin and I if this incident hadn't happened.
Exactly. Yeah. Because that's, and that's what's weird about my show, for example. I mean, when you sit and you talk for an hour or 2 hours with people, you kind of connect a little bit.
Sure.
You kind of make some good friends along the way,
Mm-hmm.
And when I was doing lights and sound back then, there was a lot of people that wanted to learn how I was doing things, because I was doing everything by ear. I was manually controlling the whole boards, all that stuff. And they wanted to know how I was doing it. So they would come hang out and you'd end up making a friend.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And oddly enough, I'll give you a story. We were at Music Row Showcase doing a show, and it was 2 bands playing, and I'd been helping out both bands. My mom's Monte Carlo, I parked right next to Music Row Showcase, right before you got to the loading docks in the back. And after the show and everything, this guy that had been hanging out with us, he goes with us. I go to my mom's car. Well, somebody's done Jimmy the daggum Monte Carlo door open, stole my 35 millimeter camera, my suitcase of cassette tapes. For people who don't know what a suitcase of cassette tapes was, it was like a briefcase, and you popped it open, and your cassettes all set in there. And it was a great place to hide your weed. But anyway, he stole all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he had kicked the radio out of my mom's Monte Carlo. And he never said a freaking word. And he went with us, and we went out running around after the show. A week later, same dude shows up, and I'm like, okay, hanging out, having a good time, did the show. After the show, he said, well, where are we going next? And I said, I don't know, but you're driving. No, I've talked to the dude on the phone,
Yeah.
I mean, I consider him a halfway decent friend. We get in his car. There's my freaking stereo in his car.
Wow. Man.
And I never said a word.
Yeah.
And I looked at him, and he's like, what? I said, where'd you get the radio? Oh, I bought it from this wino a week ago or something. And I'm like, I said, the only thing I know what you did, and I don't care. I want my camera back, because I had pictures of the girlfriend that I was with at the time. And those pictures didn't need to go anywhere else, if you know what I mean. He'd already pawned the camera.
Oh, wow.
Already. And he said, I took the film out and destroyed it. He didn't even, and I'm just like, dude, I'm done.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And never talk to him again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's how things go that people don't understand.
Yeah.
You meet people in the industry, you hang out, you get a connection, you get a vibe, and you think you're making a friend.
That's right.
And sometimes it works out and you make a friend for life.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't know what's going to happen.
That's true. That's true.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Music business is not what people think it is.
No, it's not. It really isn't. I'm glad some of the young ones are actually going to business school before they actually go into the freaking music industry.
A lot of them are like that now.
Yeah.
And Josh Turner, he was here in Vanderbilt.
Mm.
Josh was a smart boy.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are doing it now, just like you said. They got business degrees.
Oh, yeah. I ain't got no business degree.
Yeah, back in my day, I didn't.
We learned from
I got
hard
a
knocks.
grade education degree.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you was raised up or not, anything. I feel is pretty much on the same level as me, but, Dad had me out on a friend of ours' farm, baling hay, cutting tobacco, taking them little piggies and doing a little slice and all that good stuff, and I was thankful for that.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
It's crazy.
It ain't like that now.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah, I went in the Navy right before I was 18 years old. I was in the Navy at 17.
I'm surprised you ain't got tattoos all over you.
No, sir. I ain't got the first one.
I just thought about that. He was in the Navy, Vietnam, alcoholic from Hades. You ain't got no ink at all.
No, sir. Not even a hidden one.
That is
I
crazy.
never got into it.
Not even a little butterfly on your tushy or nothing.
Nope. I got nothing. Not the first one.
All
my buddies, man, they were tattooed up. Well, back then, you couldn't get a tattoo. Really, it was going to be shown.
Well, yeah, they had
Back
that
then,
whole.
You got to remember, you could get them all over your chest, your arms, and this, that, as long as it didn't, get all down in here. And if you had anything below sleeve level and all, it had to be a Navy, Mama, or that type of thing. You couldn't put no naked woman on your arm.
Not no hula girl.
No, none of them either.
No.
So, they had restrictions back then, on what you could do.
Yeah,
But,
I don't say that's.
I never did.
That's why I don't like. I would like some more sponsors and stuff, but I'm really careful on that because I don't want somebody telling me what I can and cannot do on the show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just can't. It drives me
And
nuts.
sponsors are
Sounds
good,
like
but sponsors are great. They're good.
Sound like a rare
But,
company.
Yeah, it sure does.
Sponsors are great.
But don't take the freedom away either.
No. I'm all about that freedom stuff. I love the freedom stuff. Did they actually put you in jail?
Do what?
Did they actually put you in jail?
Oh, no, but they couldn't prove anything. I mean, there's nothing to prove,
Yeah.
but the suspicion that they put over me and how they treated me put a cloud over me and my career.
Yeah.
That's why nobody in Nashville wanted to touch me. So, it's kind of like they blackballed me like you did, they did Leon, and why? I mean, again, man, I didn't create the music business.
Well, see, here's something that's weird to me because I've heard a couple of your songs that you did back then.
Yeah.
And then listening to you at the Troubadour the other night. And I got to be honest with you. You sound better today than you did back then.
I appreciate it.
Didn't he sound awesome down at Troubadour tonight?
Dude. Even with a crappy microphone. Technical problems happen to everybody. But anyway, good save, David. Good save. But yeah, I was just like, I tell you what. Did y'all hear that in the background?
This is
That
phone
is-
central
I
tonight.
know that's what it is.
Hello. Good God. I'm just going to start having it out in the street now. I'm going to get a tent and I'm going to go sit down in music right there on Broadway and just have shows right there. That'll be fun.
You probably get a big audience just hanging around there, just watching.
No, I'd have every crazy person trying to sit down and talk to me.
Well,
Wait a minute.
well, David.
Damn.
Just saying.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah. I was really amazed because the way your voice was, it was just, dude, it was just like I could have sat there and listened to you all night,
I appreciate that.
you know, and it was just like, you know, was it 2 songs you did?
Yeah, we did too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2. And Julie was sitting over there, and of course, she's got the phone up, and Diane's over here, and she's videoing and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, that's gonna be a fun tour.
I think we'll have a good combination of music, man. I really do.
Yeah, because I mean, it just, man, I might have to go with y'all.
Let's go.
Come on.
We'll go have fun all around.
Yeah, man.
Let's go do it.
Yeah.
He can be our announcer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still got bills to pay. That's why I'm still at the day job. Which I'm impressed, because a lot of these newcomers coming up, they've got the day job and they're working their butts off, man.
They are.
They are doing it.
Mm-hmm. And we went down on Lower Broad yesterday, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday. Them guys down there, they go and they do 4-hour shifts.
Mm-hmm.
Play at this club, they go play at this club.
Yeah.
4-hour shifts, and some of them are doing it like 2 and 3 and 4 a day.
Yeah.
And I mean, when they set up to play, they don't get breaks. They play for 4 hours.
Yeah. They go up there.
Shifts.
I forgot the times on each club. I think is a little bit different on the shift schedule, but they'll go up there and they'll stay on that stage for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And they'll play, and then they'll collect and divvy up tips, you know, and whatever they got to do. And, you know, they got maybe an hour to get to the next one, grab something to eat, you know, and go down there. And I was just informed the other day that some of the clubs downtown are actually starting, besides their pay that they get to play, they're actually giving them like a drink tab, and they can use, you know, like I think for food and stuff like that if they need it.
Oh, really?
So I was kind of impressed with that, but shoot.
Most of it's just tips.
Yeah.
That's what they're playing for.
Well, I mean, it used to be nothing but tips, and now the clubs are actually giving them a little bit.
Oh, are they?
From what I heard, I don't know exactly, because I know a lot of the sound people down there, they get paid, and it don't come out of the artist.
I know.
It comes from the club. So,
wow, I still think that's a tough way to make a living.
Yeah.
which part?
Playing down there.
Any part of down there.
shifts.
Any
Yeah.
part of down there.
And just to even go downtown.
Cost you
Ooh.
$50 a part.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, when we did the CMA Fest thing that I threw, excuse me, we were at Nashbox Studios. That's where you seen the pickup truck.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
And that was just a metal formed. It wasn't a real
Yeah.
truck. And I told, you know me, if I tell you I'm coming to see you, I'm going to come see you. And we had a couple people on there, and they asked me to come see them. And I said, sure, I'll come see you. And we went down there. Dude, it took us from Nashbox down to Broadway, like almost 45 minutes to walk through the chaos of people.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, they're shutting down Broadway at a certain time every night. And Broadway's just full of people.
That's
Mhm.
it.
I mean, it's crazy. I
Yeah.
couldn't understand it. And I was just like, man. And we went to a particular venue. You want me to name your venue? Give me money. But it had an elevator, but it had stairs. And this thing is 4 freaking levels high. And each one has got a full everything, you know. And we went up there, and I think I had a beer, and it took 25 minutes for the beer to actually get there. So by the time it got there, it wasn't worth drinking anyway. And I think we hung out there for about 30 minutes and listened to the guy play and everything. And then we left. What have I got going on now?
Oh, no.
I've got a
zoo in
Diane.
here. We got a zoo.
I got a dog and a cat running around.
I love
Oh, man, that's funny,
I
man.
love his show, man.
Yeah.
I love this show.
Pumpkins chasing, and
Sit
was that
around.
Freya?
Sit around the kitchen table and watch the cat.
Freya running
chase
around.
the cat.
By God, it's just like Grandma's house, man.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Freya went over here somewhere. I don't know. There she is, right here.
Can't get no better than this.
That's funny.
And we're live here tonight.
Yes, we are.
That is just great.
Man. Hey, look, it don't get no rawer than
I
this.
love
That's
it,
it.
man.
That's it.
This is the ultimate.
That's
I love
it.
this. I love it, brother. Oh, this is so good.
It's like a fight broke out in the back of the school bus, man.
If the phones ain't ringing, the dog's chasing the cat.
That's it.
And Diane was trying to chase them all. I don't know what she was doing. She got Pumpkin, though.
She got her. She got hers. Oh my
Lord.
goodness.
Pumpkin
That
just
is
wanted
so
to
funny.
play.
That's all she wanted to do.
That's it.
She wanted a little exercise.
Oh, Lord. All right, Sammy. Me and Leon's been talking a bunch and all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to tell you something. This is your time. You can say anything you want to say. I don't care. And you can tell any story you want to tell.
Hey man, I'm just thankful to be here with you guys, man. You know, like I said, I'm just I've never went away in country music, David. I mean, I've always been there. I went back out on the road 91. It took me 2 years to get back up on my feet from the
Right.
shooting. I had to go through 2 major operations. I didn't know how bad I was hurt that night, but it severed the main artery in my arm, and I was bleeding to death, and I didn't know it. And
Well, no, that adrenaline kick in, man.
I mean, and it was rough, you know. And woke up, my arm was swelled up the size of 3 basketballs, and
Mm-hmm.
couldn't move my arm. My hand was, you know,
Well, you've actually still got the bullet.
yeah, I
It's
got it.
lodged
Still
up
got it
in
in my
here.
shoulder. You know, I carry it with me. They didn't take it out that night.
Well, you want it out?
And well, I tell you, man, they said it'd never bother you, and they said they didn't want to tear my muscles up to get it out.
Well, if you're anything like me, I got a steel rod in
You
this
just-
arm
Yeah.
and in this leg. And I know when the weather's coming on.
Yeah, it'll affect you a little bit.
Oh, yeah. You'll get a little tinge.
But yeah, you know, then I had to go through a second operation about 6 months later to repair a nerve. And, you know, then I went back out on the road the end of 91. I toured till 1998.
Yeah.
Went back out. I didn't try to get another record deal or anything. We just went out, worked, toured, and did whatever we could do. And we ended up working about 265 days a year in that stretch period. And, you know, having to live your life with somebody trying to kill you. What is it about? Police wouldn't tell us anything. They said, you know, Sammy, whenever we find out who done this to you, Kevin's family will be the first to call.
Right.
You'll be
Right.
the second. That was a lie. They didn't call me. Dolly Parton's hairdresser called me
Wow.
and told me, she goes, and I didn't know, you know, when I answered my phone, she goes, first thing out of her mouth was, congratulations. And I said, congratulations about what? She goes, you don't know? I go, no, what? She goes, they caught the guy that shot you. And I said, you're kidding me.
Wow.
I immediately hung up, David, and I called the police officer,
Yeah.
the detective. And I said, man, I heard that y'all caught the guy that shot us. And they were out in Las Vegas. They'd found him in Las Vegas. He was a pit boss or something out there in one of the casinos. And they said, yeah, we're extraditing him back to Nashville. Said, we got him, and said, but he told us this about you. And I said, well, I don't care what he told you about me. I said,
Yeah.
I've told you everything I know. And I hung up in that instant. Something told me, said, you need to get an attorney.
Yeah.
And I never thought I ever needed an attorney.
Oh, yeah, you do.
But then I got one, and I called my attorney and I told him what had happened and what they said. He said, don't say another word to nobody.
Yep.
And I didn't get another phone call. So whenever they had the trial came up and they was going to have the trial, they had called me, and I just had gallbladder surgery the week before.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, you know, still sore and, you know, trying to recuperate.
Oh,
They
yeah.
said, well, we're going to have the trial on such and such date. And I said, well, man, I don't know if I can get there. I just had surgery. And what is the attorney's name for the guy that shot us?
I don't know.
What do they call that? Is it
Defense attorney?
They said, well, there's not going to be a trial if Sammy Sadler's not here. And they ended up flying me into Nashville.
Yeah.
And they put me up at the Doubletree Hotel and
Ooh, elegance.
come and that night, they flew me in the night before. My family flew in with me. And I got in about 9 or 9:30 that night. Well, my attorney had to pick me up that night, and we had to go downtown Nashville and meet with a DA and his assistant in their office that night. And so we went in there, and we were there probably an hour and a half. And we got through and went back out and got in my attorney's car. And he sat and cranked his car up, and he looked over at me. He said, Sammy, he said, they're going to try to sandbag you.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, what do you mean? I didn't know what he meant. He said, they're going to try to drag you into this.
Yeah.
And I said, well, Ralph, I've told them everything I know. I've took a lie detector test. I've been hypnotized. I've done everything.
All right.
And the next day was the trial. And we went down, and it was a big deal. All the media, everything was there, and they led me down. Ralph walked me down and walked me all the way down the end of the hall through all the media and through all the people, and said, you stay right here. Don't go nowhere till I get back.
Just left you alone standing there?
Well, I was there with my family.
Okay.
He said, y'all don't go anywhere. He said, I'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And it felt like he was gone 25, 30 minutes. And he come back. He said, when they call you, you go in there and testify. I said, okay. And I don't know if I was second or third. I don't know what I was. But when they called me in, I went in and testified. And they took me straight out of the courtroom, straight back to the Doubletree Hotel. And I couldn't watch any of the news. I couldn't talk to anybody about anything.
Right, yeah.
For the trial. And
basically sequestered.
They sequestered me there for 3 days. And after the third day, they called me and said, you're free to go. And that was it.
Wow.
And, I told Leon, I've told him today and other people, I know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
God knew the truth, and he stepped in and he kept me and he saved me from them trying to do something to me or pin something on me that wasn't true.
Yeah. And
I'm thankful for that.
Well, I figure the guy was probably saying everything he could to try and save his ass.
Probably so, but still.
Didn't the guy that did the shooting, wasn't he used to be?
Yeah.
So
he did. So
he was the ex-chart man.
Tony D'Antonio was his name.
Yeah.
So he had Kevin's job before Kevin had it.
Yeah.
And so he had gotten kicked out of there because of, sexual harassment and doing drugs and cocaine and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And so, when Kevin took it over, and this is just what I believe in, what I think has happened. When Kevin got in there and he started seeing what was going on and he found out what was happening and how things were being done. Well, one of the other guys that they say that actually paid D'Antonio to do the hit on it was Chuck Dixon. And he was a big cash box record promoter. And the instead of calling it cash box, they were calling it Chuck box because he controlled what was going on at cash box and what was going on with all the charts and stuff. Yeah. So the day of the trial, I find out that there was 4 or 5 other record promoters that testified that day that got immunity for telling what they knew.
Mm-hmm.
And so here you are. I mean, I don't know how that can be when somebody's going to get shot and killed or something's going to happen to them.
And you didn't say nothing.
And you didn't tell nobody and you didn't say anything. How can that be?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't understand it.
Well, I mean, because even when I was doing this stuff all over the place, back earlier when I was learning it and everything, I always heard like rumors of, you know, it was like they were trying to be pretend mafia people.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to make it where they controlled everything and all this other stuff. And I was just like, ain't nobody controlling me. I don't care, you know, but I didn't have to face what you had to face.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had some drawed on me moments, you know, but I just, I was thankful,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it never went to, nobody pulled the trigger.
Well, you know, I look back on it, you know, and I can see how other people have gone to jail for things that they really haven't done,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it's a shame, you know, for those kind of people to be able to for the police to treat people that way and do that to people when they know, you know, it's not true. You don't know anything, but they, you know, they're either pressured into trying to do something or solve something.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be. I mean, it's an eye-opening experience to know that kind of stuff goes on.
Oh yeah. I mean, you see it in everyday,
Mm-hmm.
you know, TV shows and stuff, lawyer shows and all that stuff, how sometimes they streamline your butts right on into the daggum jail cell.
You know, and it's kind of funny, you know, I was doing a tour back in 2015 to 2017, going into 18, myself and Ken Mellons and Jeff Carson were out touring together. And me and Ken had done a show, and I think we were in Michigan or somewhere. And I was sitting on the back of the bus, and he come back there and he said, man, he said, I'm going to talk to you, man. I said, okay. And he said, I got a friend of mine. I run into a friend of mine that I ain't seen in a while. And he asked me what I was doing. I told him I was out doing this tour with you. And he said, Sammy Sadler, the guy survived the murder on Music Row.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, yeah. He said, man, I want to meet him. And he said, I was the first police officer on the scene that night.
Wow.
And so it's funny how God works everything. 24 years later,
Yeah.
I get to meet him, and he invites me over to his house. Me and Ken go over there, and I told him what went on and how the police treated me. And literally, he was screaming at the top of his lungs in his house because of the way they treated me. He said, they owe you an apology.
Mm-hmm.
He said, it makes me ashamed to be a police officer for the last 25 years.
Oh yeah.
And him and I have created a bond between us, and we've become friends. And he told me things about that night. Obviously, I would have never known.
Well, no, you was in shock, dude.
Yeah. And, you know, so I'm thankful, you know, and I look back on it, you know, I didn't know Kevin had died. I was in the hospital, and I was asking about Kevin every day. How's Kevin? Where's Kevin?
Yeah.
They wouldn't tell me anything.
Oh no, they won't.
And so I didn't find out that Kevin had passed until the day they buried him. They told me.
And you couldn't even be there.
No, I couldn't even be there. And then I find out that Kevin was a Christian and I wasn't. And I feel like I'd have probably went to hell if I'd have died that night. But I'm thankful that God thought enough of me to save me and keep me.
Amen.
I can say I'm a Christian, and I'm just thankful to still be here and be able to tell what's going on, you know, in my life. You know, mine was a bullet. Leon's was alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can touch somebody's life, we don't know what anybody's going through out there. And everybody's going through something. And there's people out there that they may have no hope, or they think they're alone. You're not alone. God's with you every day. And I just want people to know that he'll bring you through. Just look to him, trust in him.
Yep, exactly. I feel the same way. You know, it's, I've told this story before, and I'm a firm believer in it, because when I got out of the music industry. See, I forgot to change the camera angle again. I got out of the music industry in 2008, and then I got my life straight, got my credit up, built this house.
Yeah.
And I was sitting around, and I was actually on the phone with Eric and Thomas because we, three-way talking everybody and everything. And Thomas does movie producing, the indie movie producers. And Eric actually has done some voiceover work, and he was an extra in the movie that Thomas did. It was These Streets We Haunt, a real good movie. And I was kind of like, I don't know what I want to do. I know I don't want to get back into lights and sound.
Yeah.
Because that was a dog eat dog.
Yeah.
I mean, to this day, and the sad part about it is these clubs are not even there anymore.
Oh yeah, I know.
But I had, I don't know, $7-8 grand owed to me. I'd never get back.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to do something. I wanted to be creative because I do have a creative side. I can't write a song worth of crap. I can't play guitar. I can't do this. So put me behind the board and I'm pretty good, So I just decided, and we was talking and they both suggested, have you thought about a podcast?
Yeah.
And Eric was like, dude, you've got the voice. Do a podcast. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. But I researched the hell out of it for 6 months. I'm looking at every YouTube. My assistant was just my friend then, because me and her's been friends since high school. And she would come over because her son built a house behind me over here. And she would come over just to hang out and see what I was doing. And every time she come over, I'm sitting on the couch with my legs and my camouflage sleep pants, and I'm YouTubing the hell of everything I could find on podcasts, And that's what got me started. And every time I get discouraged or I feel like, man, what am I doing this for? I ain't making no $1 million a year. I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that. And it's like, you could almost hear the swing of the baseball bat right before he connects with the back of my head and says, boom. And then lo and behold, something positive will pop up to keep me on that path.
That's right.
The CMA. I'm one of the few podcasters, one of the first podcasters to be brung into the CMAs.
That's awesome,
Wow.
man.
Be a CMA member. And that was something that something I'd always wanted to do.
Yeah.
My great aunt, Wilma Briggs, worked at the Opry, all that stuff. She actually retired from there. She was like a lifer working down there. And whenever I wanted to go to CMA Fest, back then was called Fanfare.
Yeah, fanfare.
And with me and my mama would always get tickets, and I would be the one that would go with mama, and we would hang out. And
yeah,
there's a lot of people that mama had autographs from and everything else. I mean, if I could get my hands on some of that stuff, I could probably find, God, who knows who autographed what, because mama liked Conway Twitty.
Oh yeah.
Hello, darling.
I did too.
yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. I'm having fun
Sure.
and
Doing what you like to do.
watching dogs and cats chase each other. And Diane covering her face going, oh God, oh God.
That's my little monkey.
Yep. The little monkey.
The little monkey.
Brother, I'm glad he was there for you.
I am too. I'm
Good.
blessed, man.
Because and I'm not saying hypothetically, I'm saying straight out, if what I heard at the Troubadour is any indication of where you're going to be going with your sound and your voice, I can't wait to see where it all ends up, because it's going to be greatness.
Well, thank you. Everything happens in God's time.
Exactly.
And, I'm not worried about radio and records anymore, man. All I want to do is get out and play my music and tell my story. And if I can help somebody along the way, then I've done my job for the Lord.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
That's it.
That's it.
That's right.
That's all you got to do. Don't shove it down nobody's throat. Here it is, black and white.
That's it.
That's
Witness.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
all you can do.
I feel
Be
like,
yourself.
even, Leon's story of not just, there's so much more to him than the music and what he's lived through and things that he's experienced. God's had his hand on him for sure.
Well, yeah, because he's still got his kidneys.
Yeah, man, I tell you, if you know what I know,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it'll blow your mind, man. I mean, I'm thankful and honored to be able to go out with him.
Same here.
Oh,
Right
yeah.
reverse.
I mean, it's,
Sammy's the one that called me
yeah.
and invited me, and I am honored and proud to be teamed up with him. And like I said today, when he called me, we kind of hit it off on the phone, and then him and Melody came up to the big city of Ward, South Carolina, a while back, and
Could you handle all that? I mean, that's a
man,
huge city
it was
now.
awesome, man.
it's pretty big.
It was awesome.
I mean,
Y'all got 4 red lights now?
or we don't got one.
Just one?
We got a stop sign.
That's
Okay.
it.
That's
Yeah,
it.
we
That's
got a
it.
stop sign, man.
That's big city 11 right there.
Yes, sir. But they came up, and it's actually the first time, we met him eyeball to eyeball.
Yeah.
We just fell in love with him, and they stayed there at the house with us. And, it's a immediate friendship bond.
Yeah.
And then the more we've been together, more, it's not even friendship or music related partnership or anything like that. It's like we've become brothers, and that's how close we are.
Yeah.
It's like brothers, like we've known each other all of our life. And so we've said this before. I think it's a God thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
know?
It definitely
Where I
is.
Yeah.
come from, where he come from, he put us
Yeah.
together, to go out and just share and let our light shine.
There you
It's
go.
like you said, you cannot go out there and beat people over the head with no Bible and expect them to think,
No.
I want to be a Christian. No, who wants to, that ain't what it's about. Like you said it a while ago, let your light shine. That's all they see.
Yeah.
You're out there, you're having a great time, good times. And man, I don't know what's the matter with, I don't know what they're on, but I want some of that.
Well,
I
yeah.
ain't on nothing, I'm just on Jesus Christ.
That's it,
know.
man.
But I try to let my light shine to everybody because I'm not ashamed of it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people these, I can say like they're closet Christians. I guess you want to say they're Christians on Sunday morning whenever we go to church and all, but that ain't, you got to live it every day. And it's like they go to church, that's
Yeah.
fine, but then they get out here, they keep their mouth shut. Well, not me. I'm gonna let my light shine.
Yeah.
And because that might be the only Bible they ever see.
Exactly.
It's what you are, and say, I want whatever it is they got.
Yeah. Yeah.
Him and Sammy, man, they have a
Mhm.
ball all the time. They just like crazy. What makes y'all's relationship? What are y'all on? We both on Jesus Christ. That's it.
Yeah.
Period.
Exactly.
And we're having a ball. And,
It's
and they want some of it then.
when I started to get faded, those baseball bat hits in the back of my head. Honestly, I felt like he was telling me, stay on this path, go this way. You've got to be there. And I quit fighting it. I quit arguing about it. I quit being down on myself, started feeling better, started feeling happier. And we sat on the front porch and drink sweet tea and laughed the night away. I don't care, man. I just want to have, I'm 58 now, and I want to have 58 more of the happiest years I've ever had in my life.
That's right, brother.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Another thing, that me and Leon talked about. I mean, there's, the music business. There's a lot of egos in this business, and
Ooh.
there's not any egos between me and Leon. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
Leon.
it is,
We're
'cause I won't spike your hair.
Yeah.
it's like Leon. We're the same.
Mhm.
You're not any better than me. I'm not any better than you. And that, it's hard to work with some people in this business because of egos,
Well,
jealousy.
you know, it's kind of like what I said earlier. You got,
Yeah.
and you got this,
Yeah.
and that also translates over into some people that's in this industry.
Mhm.
You got this one, but I guarantee I'm gonna tell you, there's about 50 of this one.
Right. Exactly.
And
Hitting it on the head. There,
oh yeah, well, I mean, they park them waters all the time, but it ain't the right waters you want to be on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you know, I believe, you know, it's just like, I believe our music's going to complement each other. Leon's going to be singing all his hits and his gospel stuff. And again, man, I mean, people may say, why are you going to do gospel? Well, that's who Leon is. And,
Mhm.
you know, he wants to share that. And I believe there's an audience out there for our music and our style of music that people are still hungry for.
Yeah.
It's out there.
Yeah.
And we've got to find our audience. We got to find our people. And if anybody wants to book our show, come to our websites, get in touch with us. We'd love to come and visit them.
Yeah, because I'm gonna take when we get done with all this, I'll get all the websites and I'll put it on there.
Right.
That way, hey, they
I appreciate that.
Yes,
well,
sir.
yeah, whoop 'em.
Hey, and by the way, Sammy's got a book out.
You going ahead of me there, Skippy.
Oh, man. Look out now. Look out now.
I always say nothing else.
Skippy.
Skippy. I had to call him Skippy. Skippy.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, my other one was
Now I'm
Scooter.
Skippy.
I almost said Scooter.
Skippy.
Oh, my goodness.
No, I was actually
Skippy.
I was actually fixing to get into that because first of all, thank you for the book.
Yes, sir.
I will read it if I can pry it out of Julie's hands. Look, she's already giving me crap over it. She's like, no, she gets a book. Somebody, J.D. Williams wrote a book, and she's a singer songwriter, and she kind of lost her voice at one time, so she was more, and she turned to writing books, and she come on the show. That little heifer over there grabbed the freaking book and read it in 2 days.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
2 days, man. And yeah, sit over and grin ear to ear. I see you. But thank you so much.
You're
I really do
welcome. Thank
appreciate
you.
it. And a hit with a bullet, a true story of corruption, greed, and the real murder on Music Row by Sammy Sadler. Where can they get this?
They can get it if they want an autographed copy, Dave. They can get it at my website at sammysadler.com.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Amazon, and if you're not a big reader, it's on all of the Audible levels. If they want to download it and listen to it there.
Okay, cool. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I got to look over my glasses again. Look at this. Yeah, this is a catcher right here. I like this. Yeah, I'm on. You ain't getting it yet. Stay away from my book. I'll be walking y'all out,
There you go.
and she'll
She'll come over and get it
it'll
from
disappear.
you.
Yeah, I see you nodding your head over there.
Leon's going to have a book coming out as well about his life.
When you gonna get one?
They proofreading it now, and it's getting ready to get out. It's already been wrote. It took a year and a half. They wrote it, and there's also in the works. I'll know more by the end of this month. They're going to make a full length movie. about my
Awesome,
life. Yeah,
dude.
there's a lot of things in there that people really don't know, and
I'm sorry. I'm still sitting there thinking, who's going to play me on our first interview?
well, it definitely ain't gonna be Skippy.
Yeah, well, you know, might be Scooter Dooter.
But no, there's a lot of works going on in there, and I want to give a little plug. I got a new single out now. It's a gospel single,
Mm-hmm.
and it just dropped on Grace Records, Nashville,
Yeah.
and it's out all radio. So call your radio, and it's on all the downloads,
Streaming
whatever
sites.
Spotify,
whatever
all that.
stuff is. It's on all that. Go to it. It's called "Tell My Mama That I Called," and
I haven't heard that one yet.
you haven't heard that.
Did I hear that one yet? I haven't heard that one yet.
It's
She's over there giving me the shame on me thing. So
it just dropped a few weeks ago,
okay,
and but it's already kicking off real good.
I like the one you did with the music
Cut and
video.
paste.
Yeah, cut and paste. I
Yes.
like that one.
It's still out too.
Well, no, I've
Actually,
heard it.
I got one out in country now and now on the gospel at one time.
That's awesome.
I've never had that happen before. Two
Dude.
records out at the same time on different country radio and gospel
Cool, ain't
radio.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
he's just. I'm gonna start singing that song "Unstoppable" for you. I mean, it's just. He's like an old Mercury motor. He just keeps on going.
Man,
going
I
and
tell you,
going.
I think, when people know that we've got the show back out there and Leon's back out on the road, I think
Yeah,
a lot of his
did.
a
Yeah.
lot of his fans are going to come out of the woodworks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm serious, not joking. A lot of people think, because I was out of it so long.
Well, that's what we talked about when you came on the show.
They think I'm dead.
Because he had you had just signed with Jimmy and was coming
Right,
out
exactly.
and he was on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact,
And-
Jimmy set us up.
Yeah.
that night, yeah.
Yeah. I think he 3-wayed us in or something like that. And
Something, yeah.
the only thing I heard was where you live, Leon be there. And I'm like, okay, we're doing a show. But we had a blast. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. And I was just like, he kept saying, people thought he just fell off
Yeah.
the map. He died,
Yeah.
all this other stuff. And I'm just like, no. And then you see him at a show somewhere and
Yeah.
it's like, there's a crowd there.
Yeah.
Okay, dude, people know you. They
Yeah.
know you ain't dead.
Yeah, it's really, I've been fortunate,
You have.
I really have been real fortunate. And
And I love
I
it.
just believe when this tour catches on, like you just said it, people going to come out of the woodwork.
Oh, they will.
And the concept that we've come up with, nobody else is doing it. I mean, to go out and do the 80s music and the 90s music of the
Yeah.
hits, there's two different people here. I say he's the Croner. He's the Frank Sinatra. And the,
Frankie, baby.
Hey.
yeah, baby. And the Croner that makes a little goosebump will stand all up, all that kind of stuff. And I'm just the old redneck that opens mouth and hollers. Whatever comes out, that's it,
I honestly think it's going to be a fabulous
Yeah.
tour.
I do too, and
then
that's
get to talking about this because we're going to talk about this stuff
Yeah.
in our shows.
Yeah.
And,
'cause that's-
exactly how it was.
That's the way it's got to be.
Nobody-
And people, I think they're just going to really who else is doing that?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's, I've had several people ask me about, what I'm doing and everything else, because even in the music realm, they're trying to follow algorithms.
Mhm.
They're trying to follow what this song does and
Right.
what this song does to try and create the perfect song that's going to make that perfect storm mountain money come in, And I just tell everybody, I do what my heart tells me to do.
That's it.
Mhm.
I follow what I feel. I thank that guy upstairs for hitting me in the back of the head with a baseball bat every now and
That's
then.
it. Right.
And above all else, have fun in your life. Good, honest fun,
Right. Exactly.
and that's why I'm jazzed about it. I mean, I'm loving it that y'all are going to do this.
Well, you mentioned Jimmy Adams a minute ago.
Yeah,
I'm still with Jimmy Adams, He's
I
my
know.
manager. Yeah.
I know. I heard you at the Troubadour,
Oh, you did. Right. Yeah.
you betrayer,
And,
because you was on another podcast.
yeah, but see, the
No, that was a radio show. I got him, Diane. I got him.
you got Slippy. Slippy. You Slippy. I'm you slipping. But see, the problem I got with Jimmy Adams is he wants to do a duet with me. And he's also wanting to go on the road with us.
I
He's
haven't
wanting to be a background singer.
heard him sing.
He can't.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess that's why I ain't heard him sing.
Thank goodness.
I mean, I can go. I'm good for some bass and some doo-wop, but that's about it.
And then he tells me, he said, yeah, well, you tell me all that stuff. You ain't gonna let me do all that with you, but you just jealous and all because I'm so good looking. And I look at him, I said, you know what, Jimmy? There's a good looking Jimmy boy.
He's funny though,
But
man.
I tell you what, I've been knowing Jimmy 50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go back 50 years.
Wow.
And as a friendship, not business related, just a friendship. Of course, he was in the music business,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I met him in the music business. But we got a 50-year friendship going on. And then, like I say, him and little David Wilkins, they're responsible for me coming back to town. Because it's been 34 years since I'd been in Nashville, and I swore I'd never come back. And Jimmy and little David convinced me to come back and record a song with little David Wilkins.
Yeah.
He wrote a song called I Stand the Tallest When I'm Down on My Knees. It's a gospel song.
Mm-hmm.
David said, man, I need you to help me out with this gospel song. You know, David's a country writer.
Yeah.
And he said, come back. I said, I'm not coming back to Nashville. Well, him and Jimmy got on the phone with me. And they kept on. They bugged me. They would call me at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, we're an hour ahead of y'all here in Nashville.
Right.
And they stay up all night. And they'd call me 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
I wished I could stay up all night.
Yeah. and say, come on back. And finally I said, okay, if I come back up there, you know, y'all leave me alone then. I said, I'll come up there and I'll record that song. I said, but I'm telling you right now, I haven't been in a studio in 34 years. I don't play music no more. And I said, but I'll come up there just to get y'all to shut up and leave me alone.
You know, for somebody that don't play music any daggum more, when you came back, you freaking strum the crap out of that damn guitar.
I play a rhythm guitar like nobody else plays, I think.
Man, much like at the Troubadour the other night, you was wearing it out. And how you got your feet that far apart and that low on the ground and strumming at the same time, I ain't figured that one out. I think he's lying to us. He ain't 75 years old.
No, he ain't. He's
I
not.
don't know what I do. I just do it.
Yeah, but you do it all the time with a big old grin on your face. That's what I love.
Good time, man.
That's what I love.
That's
Yeah.
what but you know, I recorded that song with little David. I come up here. Like I said, it's been 34 years since I've been in the studio. We recorded I Stand the Tallest When I'm Down on My Knees. And they put it out. It stayed number 1 for 5 weeks in a row in Christian Field.
Yeah, I've seen that.
First record out, 5. So I said, well, here I am now. So that's what started it all back. So Jimmy says, you know, you might as well just let me manage you, you know. I said, okay, let's do it. We didn't do a contract. We did a handshake because, I mean, we've been friends for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And, but he's my manager.
I used to love it when you could do
He's
that.
putting the movie deal. He's the one that's put the movie deal thing that's coming up.
Oh, cool.
Where they
Yeah.
the book, and they're going to do a movie about me. So that's in the works too.
So I got to call Jimmy to find out who's going to play me.
You call Jimmy and ask him all about the details on that, the movie deal.
Can I have another, please?
Pop a top again.
That's Mountain Dew. We got to take labels off.
But yeah,
Wait a minute. You took that one, but didn't give me another one.
but you know, Jimmy, he's come up with so many things.
He's a thinker, man.
Yeah, he is. He come up with this country box thing that's going on.
Yeah, he's been doing real good with it.
Yeah, well, you know, this past Tuesday on Country Box, that was the first time they've actually inked with all the Dish Network. Comcast.
Yeah, he said they syndicated it.
Yes, all of a sudden, Dish Network, Comcast, all of them, whatever they all are, AT&T.
Yeah, all them crazy.
Broadcast all over the world. They said what was going into 100 million homes Tuesday night.
Yeah, it's
so he's inked that deal. So that's
what's unique. Nobody's doing it. See, there's a theme here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
There's a theme.
Hey,
What are you doing? Looking for a cat or something?
We're on live TV watching
Yes.
open a soda bottle.
This is more live than you know. We have cats chasing dogs,
Oh,
labels getting ripped off, all kinds of good stuff.
oh my.
I think y'all's wives may be falling asleep over there.
Huh?
Oh,
Shopping.
They're shopping.
They're all, oh my goodness.
Oh my God, we better get off of here. Y'all going to be broke in 5 minutes.
Can we borrow some money to get some gas to get back to town?
I might have 50 cents. I'm
They've
not
been
sure.
sitting over there online shopping.
Oh my God.
Oh, we're in trouble.
Yeah, we are in trouble.
I'm an extra large. You're into what?
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
You forget us.
Oh my.
I don't understand purses, but I can tell you straight up, my daddy taught me a long time ago because I learned from him. If mama wanted something out of her purse, he would go get the whole freaking purse and bring it to her and go,
Yeah.
here.
I do too.
Yeah.
And I've been that way my whole life.
Ain't no way I'm sticking my hand down in Monkey's purse.
Well, I mean,
Ain't
You don't know
no
what'll
way.
come out of there.
Might get bit. Who knows?
well, that's what I'm saying.
How they find anything
Like
in that
everybody
thing?
out
I
there.
have no idea.
I know that's right.
Hey, look,
I'm
I
about
grew
in there. It scares me just looking.
Yeah.
At it. I say, "Here, I give it to her. You get it."
I grew up on Looney Tunes, Roadrunner, Bugs Bunny, all of them. I know if I put my hand in that purse, I could disappear
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah. It's dangerous.
Yes. Oh,
And
crazy.
then they went boot shopping yesterday
Yeah.
too. By the way,
Yeah.
Oh,
they went boot shopping.
I'm a 10. Not here, but the foot. Yeah, I'm a 10. This whole area, I'm about a 5, maybe.
Oh boy.
That's funny.
And she didn't say a daggum word. Oh yeah, I missed the boot shopping. Yeah, I did.
So
That's okay. Y'all want to go boot shopping? We'll go boot shopping.
Yeah, we can. I don't know anything. Have I got any money left, Monkey?
Oh God. Okay, so
Did your grass cut, David?
instead of going on tour in 2024, they will be going on tour tomorrow to make some money.
Yes.
Do you need your grass cut, David? I'm here.
I actually just cut it the other day. Thank you. Man, I didn't weed eat though.
Oh, you did?
I got $10. You can weed eat.
Well, I can do that.
Okay. He'd have it done in 15
I
minutes.
know
though.
it. He can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can get it. Come on.
Oh God, Lord.
As always,
I know.
it's fun when I'm around you, brother.
Likewise. But as much as I hate to say this, 2 hours and 27 minutes, we've been sitting here shooting the crap.
Really?
Yeah.
That long?
Yeah. According to the counter downer.
What? Time flies.
Goes
don't
by
it?
quick.
I know.
Yeah.
It goes crazy.
Yeah, man.
But so what? It's fun. Everybody else is having fun, but not with us on the show.
Yeah, they're shopping.
Shopping, everything else. Man, it's
The
crazy.
girls is over there saying, "Y'all keep it going, keep it going."
Mm-hmm. Sammy, this on Spotify and all that?
It is. It's up on Spotify, and that's a 1989 album. Then I've got another one out called Heart Shaped Like Texas
Mm-hmm.
that came out on E1 Entertainment back, I think it's 2009, I believe it was.
Have you got any new stuff coming out?
I've got a new album in the can. We're just waiting to see what we're going to do and when we're going to come out with it. I've got a new single out called Everything's Going to Be All Right, and a video that's out right now with it. And Steve Warner and Bill Abani wrote it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I
Good
love that
writers,
song.
man.
Yeah, man. It's a good one.
I love that song.
Where's my phone? Hang on, man. I sent this to a buddy of mine because I got to show you my sporadic songwriting.
All
Okay.
right.
You're going to love it. And in no shape, fashion, or form are you obligated to anything. If I can find it. Because you'll probably laugh your butt off at it. What did I do with it?
It ain't the one you told me about before, is it?
No.
Okay.
I didn't write that one down. That one was too, no. George Carlin would have went, no.
Oh, my
dude.
goodness.
No, you're not doing that. Ah, there it is. I wrote that in my truck. You need your readers?
I do.
Mama, we need your readers.
Top or where?
Right there. It's up. All in the blue.
All of that? Okay.
All in the blue. It's not in any particular order.
You gonna read it to us?
No.
Oh,
You can read it. You
this
want
is
your
a moment of silence.
What is it? Oh.
There you go. There you go.
You like
That's
that?
pretty cool.
I like that.
Yeah,
Nobody's done that.
that's right.
Nobody's done that. And that came to me. I was sitting in my truck and it just popped in my head.
Wow. You got to write it down or you forget them.
I did.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't do it, you'll forget them. That's for sure.
The technology.
Yeah.
On tour in 2024.
Yeah, we're looking
Sammy,
forward.
Sadler, Leon Everette. And y'all are going to be doing the hits of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, each with a story of its own.
For sure. For sure.
That's cool.
For 5%, you can have that.
There you go.
Lord.
That's cool.
I got for like 15 text messages on my phone.
Right.
It's crazy. All right, y'all. Sammy, Leon, it's been great.
Thank you,
Been
man.
awesome, brother.
Appreciate it.
I enjoy coming on your show.
And like I said, he's on the show at the Troubadour. Y'all were on a different daggum show earlier, and he's going to sit there and say, like, well, yeah, what?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love you, Leon, man. I don't care whose show you go on. As long as you come on mine.
I'm gonna come on yours, brother.
I mean,
I have never been on a show before where the host just gets up and goes and pees and leaves you
I know.
sitting out here all by yourself.
That's a first.
Take over, brother.
That's a
Look.
first, man.
I told y'all, if y'all had to go, just get up and go. I mean, it's live.
Well, since you mentioned, it's kind of like to just do something, Hey, how dry I am, how wet I'll be if I don't find the bathroom key.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
So I gotta go.
All right. All right, everybody, we're out of here. Sammy, Leon, appreciate it. I have had a blast, gentlemen. And we're going
Appreciate
to talk some more out there. So, everybody, appreciate y'all watching the Facebook Live, and everybody sending the comments in. Thomas Shipman, howdy. Thomas Shipman Jr. says, hey, cousin Leon Everett.
He's from Virginia.
From Virginia?
Yeah.
No, Maryland.
Maryland.
Maryland. I always say Virginia. Maryland.
Yeah. Well, hi, Thomas Shipman.
Hi, Thomas.
And Leslie, she said agreed about something. I don't know what she was talking about. And Thomas was talking about what he was talking about with pouring the liquor out and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Your whole testimony right there.
Uh-huh.
Thomas said, great testimony, Brother Leon.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. It's just, that's it. That's what my God can do.
That's right. In a
Absolutely.
nutshell.
That's what he can do.
That's
Yeah.
right. All right, y'all. We're going to get out of here. Everybody, appreciate you watching. And like I've always said, I'm going to put links after sometime tonight. I'll put the links and everything on. What are you doing?
We're getting ready to go off.
Oh, okay. Where are we going off?
Well,
Oh, we're going off there. Okay.
yeah, off of him.
All right, everybody. Remember, like, share, follow, subscribe. Help these artists out. Get them to your town. It's all a numbers game. I'm telling you, even with the podcasters and stuff, help us out, because it's hard for us to get artists in here when their PR people is looking at the numbers going, they ain't got enough numbers. So it's the same way with the booking agents, because the booking agents are going to look and see what numbers these artists have. And then if they're not enough, they ain't going to touch them. So help everybody out.
And help us share this show, the David Bradley Show.
Oh, yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah,
Everybody.
Help us share.
Everybody.
Absolutely.
It helps everybody out.
Absolutely.
That's what it used to be all about.
That's it.
Helping
Gotta
each
help
other.
Each other.
Yeah.
Got to help each other.
Exactly.
When you're a team, and that makes it go.
Exactly.
You can't be individuals.
There ain't no I in team.
That's it.
That's right.
None whatsoever.
And,
It's all a team.
and occasionally there's a black eye in the team because somebody got elbowed. I don't know where I come from with that. I don't have a clue.
We're just hanging out.
That's right. All right, y'all. We appreciate everybody watching, and like, share, subscribe, and follow. I keep saying it over and over again. Hopefully some people will start doing that. All right, we're going to get out of here and look for the links. You can get Sammy Sadler stuff on Spotify and a bunch of other things, and get his book, because the stories that he's been telling and everything, you can get the whole story right here in this book. It's awesome. And Julie is eyeballing it already, so now I've got to hide it. So we're out of here, and see y'all more later.
See you
Bye,
guys.
y'all.
Bye.
Come to see us now, you hear?
That's right.